number one, all right, if you're mad about it, that's okay. You know what I mean? That's not what the issue. Did you tell him before you got into that how phenomenal the show was with us?
Yes, I did. Of course I did.
Not just me, with you.
What?
What do you mean?
Did you tell him how you did?
Yeah, I said we both did. We both did very well. It was great.
Just now you said Dice did a good job, like you were, sort of judging my performance.
Well, he is judging your performance.
No,
they asked me how it went.
Howard, I'm saying the reason we did this show, we wanted to see how we would be as a team together performing, and I'm still raving about the show.
Well, Artie said that you were great, he was great.
Okay.
Artie did say probably that he was just as responsible for bringing in the crowd as you were.
Okay.
And he kind of was saying...
And as a free opening act, he was great.
Yeah, and he said, not only did I accept $5,000, but really, I didn't get any money for it. But Artie also said, I'm going to fill you in on everything, Dice, so you're not in the dark. Artie said, look, Artie headlines shows, and he has other comedians working for him. He pays them that night on the spot, and he makes sure it happens. There's no reason why Artie had to wait. Am I misquoting you, Artie?
No, that's exactly right.
No, it's okay. I'll go through it with you. I have no problem going through it with you. But I don't know why you didn't just call me, because, number one, I called up. No, this is what happened. Number one, I didn't tell him I'd pay him that night. I wait till I get paid, and then I send the checks out, okay? So now what happened is I actually called you, Artie. I was in Florida 4 or 5 days ago, and I actually left you another message going, call me up and leave me the address for your agent so I could send the check.
Artie, did that happen?
I never got that message.
So wait a minute. So yesterday, when I got all these calls, I just got back to L.A. Sunday night.
Artie, you calling Dice a liar?
Oh, no, I'm just saying, I don't know if something happened with the phone. I never got that message.
No, I left that message. You get 1,000 messages from me. That one you didn't get. But I'm telling you what I did. Yesterday, I did get to your agent, and I said, give me your address.
That was yesterday.
I want to send the check out.
But, Dice, was that a reaction to Artie complaining on the air?
What bothers me... No. What bothers me... No, I've been trying to call Artie just for that information. I didn't come home from Atlanta.
Artie's shaking his head that you're bullshitting.
No, I'm saying I never got that message.
Look, I got no reason to bullshit him. Number one, what gets me crazier than everything is not the fact that you didn't get paid. I mean, I got no problem paying you. What bothers me more is that what I heard about that the show was half sold, so Artie was on the show.
That's true.
No, but
that's what Artie said.
When I first went on Howard's show, that time, the time I asked you, whatever it was, whatever day that was.
Right.
There were 200 seats left to be sold. By the time I was done with Howard's show, this is why I give you all that credit, Howard. The tickets were gone.
So you didn't really need Artie, is what you're saying.
No, not for that show. If I would have went into the bigger room, and I'll tell you the truth, they were chanting for Artie to come out. I mean, what's happened since I've come on your show is that, I'm getting people that buy Sirius coming to the show.
Right.
Whether it's whether it's in Florida, whether it's in Vegas, Atlantic City. All I wanted to do was finally team up with Artie because I heard about his performing ability and, team up like these guys do, the blue-collar guys, these guys. So... people have been telling me about Artie, so I said, well, let's try this. Now, if we would have...
See, I'm going to be honest with you. Artie thinks...
No, but let me...
Can I tell you what Artie thinks?
Okay.
Because Artie's not man enough to tell you himself.
No.
Are you scribbling notes
Artie,
to her?
No, I don't understand what you...
Artie told me something.
Let me ask him about what he just said, though.
Okay.
So you say... Are you claiming that before I announced that I was going to be a part of the Borgata show, you had already sold it out?
No, I'm saying there were 200 tickets left to sell when I came on Stern's show.
And
that's what I'm saying.
And then what I
am saying, this I'll admit to, when we announced, or you announced that you're going to do the show with me, I got calls to go into the bigger room. Let's open this up and go into the, they have a bigger room there. Either that or add a second show, because there were so many calls coming in, we could have done a second show And that I would have given you a lot of credit for. And you know what? If we would have done that, I would have even gave a lot more money because you would have had a lot to do with that second show.
Okay, I get it. So that part I agree with. But when would I have gotten this money?
Yeah, when is he getting his money?
Well, it's in a trust, Artie.
You know what I mean?
Dice has actually invested it for you, and he's waiting to watch it grow.
Yeah, I didn't know he wanted a paper bag that night.
But Dice, come on, you work with comics. You get paid that night or the next day. I mean, come on.
The next day, I got to live my life. I got to get back to L.A. and take care of business. That's what happened.
Well, I got to live my life, too.
What, couldn't you get out of town, Artie?
Look, you weren't depending on your life for the, since you said it on the air, the $5,000 I gave you. And,
You don't know that. Artie bets heavily.
But what does that have to do with anything?
It has nothing.
It's my money.
I know it's your money, but, I got to come back and when I come back out of town, the first thing I do is take care of everybody that's with me on the road and have all the checks sent out. I run it like a business. I'm not getting in my car and running to a
divvying up
15
cash
minutes away. I'm all over the country.
How do you do it, Artie, when you have comics working for you?
You can ask anybody who's ever worked for me. That I either tell the guy who's promoting the gig, I say, listen, you got to cut this guy a check for this amount, me a check for this amount. If they have a problem with that, I make sure that night the comic gets a check.
All right.
Either from my account, if I get the full amount, or from the guy.
It's your fault that you didn't say, Dice, can I get paid that night? I didn't know you expected to get paid that night.
I guess it's my fault that I didn't specify. But it's 10 days later and I don't have the check.
Well, call your agent. I spoke to him.
I called my agent 20 times this week.
Did you talk to him yesterday?
Dice, I talked to him. I had to go to Pittsburgh after we worked together, and I called him and I said, Dice didn't pay me. He said, I'll call Dice's agent. He started calling your agent a week ago. Your agent said, I don't know anything about this. Dice is on the road. I can't get him. And I said, well, as of right now, I haven't gotten paid.
What you're saying is that I was on the road.
Dice, what does that have to do with anything that you were on the road? I mean, I got to wait for you to get off the road to get $5,000?
And I'm not. No, when I come home, I take care of business. What's the?
Well, when are you getting home so we can get? Let me know.
No,
He's never going home again.
I mean, now you're starting to piss me off. I mean, you calling me a bull? You never call me this week ever. I never got a fucking phone call from you.
Now you call me a liar because I did leave.
I'm not calling you a liar. All I'm saying is maybe my phone fucked up. I didn't get a phone message from you.
I'm calling you a liar. What I'm saying is, I called you and said, I need your agent's address to send the check.
Never got that message. I gave you, remember after the Borgata, we were sitting in your dressing room?
Yeah,
you said write down your corporation's name and your agent's name. I did. I handed you that piece of paper that night thinking, okay, maybe I'll get it, Monday. It's a Friday night.
I didn't know you needed it. And if you would have said, you want to know, if you would have actually told me, can I just get paid that night in advance, I would have had a check cut for you just to give you there.
Artie's saying it's embarrassing to say that. He thinks he's supposed to just know that.
No.
Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying, what does it matter if I need the money or not? It's my money.
Needing the money, I just take care of it.
He's saying he waits.
All over. You had to drive 10 minutes to go do your gig. I went to a few different cities. I come home. I'm going to cut. The check's been cut already because now tell me you didn't talk to your agent yesterday.
I did. I'm admitting to that. I talked to him yesterday.
Did he say that I'm sending the check?
He left me a message and said, I talked to Dice, call me back. I didn't get a chance.
But that's what the call was about. What do you think it was? I want to go out with the guy?
Dice, it's still 10 days later.
Okay, so what do you want, a bonus?
No, I want my money. I don't want a bonus. I want the money we agreed to.
Why can't we get past this? Why is it always about money? You're the one that even said to me before the gig, I don't even care if I get paid. And I said, no, I got to pay you.
Dice, when did you get paid for the Borgata gig?
They gave me a check, half the check that night.
Okay. And when did you get the other half?
Now, I didn't send the check till yesterday, because I came home Sunday.
So how is that my problem?
No, it's not your problem. So I send the check to the accountant. I call the accountant. I give him your agent's number, and I say, cut the check, since I don't know why you talk about what you make on the air. It's stupid. But I told them, cut the check for Artie and send it to him. That's it.
All right, well, I'll let you know when I get the check.
Are you saying that Dice could have made that same phone call from the road, Artie?
But
I guess, I mean, there's a lot of ways of getting in touch with people nowadays.
Howard, number one, I never worked with the guy before, right?
Right.
So I'm thinking, you know, I wasn't thinking anyway. If he wanted to check that night, that's all he would have had to say, and I would have taken care of it in advance of leaving L.A.
Actually, I think this is Dice giving Artie a little more credit. He doesn't think Artie's desperate for $5,000, so he's taking his time. He's getting home. He's going to...
Why should that matter? I mean, Howard's not desperate for his paycheck coming next week.
Just expect it on time.
Exactly.
Right.
What are you going to get me? It's friggin' 6 in the morning here. What are you going to get me mad for? You know, for nothing. For nothing.
Well, for $5,000.
I'm trying to team us up to do giant things, and you're, you know, for the $5,000. How's that makes you sound bad?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't make me sound bad, Dice. It doesn't make me want to work with you again if I got to wait fucking 2 months for my money.
Oh, my God.
What do you want me to tell you? If you want to do what you're doing, then do what you're doing. We teamed up to do big things together, right?
Did you two have a talk?
What?
Yeah, well, that's the other thing. I don't know if Artie wants me to bring that up.
Right. Did you have any kind of conversation?
Artie doesn't want to tell. Dice wants to team up with Artie. And Artie thinks the reason that Dice really wants to team up is he really wants me involved. And that Dice's way to get involved with me is through Artie.
No, that's not...
But Artie's afraid to say that.
That's without question what's going on. Come on.
Oh, really?
No, wait a minute. Really? No, Howard, please. I come on your show, I announce a show, when you say, you know, you got something to plug.
You bet. Anytime you want.
Sells out, right?
That's right. Anytime you want.
But who says why it's happening?
I don't say anything.
No, I say why it's happening.
Yeah, but
what happened?
But I don't know. Artie feels he can go do these shows himself.
Here's my thing, Dice.
Let me hear what Artie has to say.
The room we played at the Borgata last week.
Okay.
I'm doing a show, 2 shows there, August 25th and 26th by myself.
Okay.
And they're both going to sell. They'll both sell out in about 4 or 5 days, and I'll make probably 11 times what I made with you there.
Okay.
Now, why would I want to do work with you when I don't need it? And why would you want to work with me? You don't give a. You never saw me do stand-up. It's not about the fact that you like the fact that I'm a comedian. I'm on the greatest show ever that can put people in seats, and you know you want to get those plugs. So it's almost like you're patronizing me, like, oh, you're a great comic, I want to work with you. No, you want to get plugs on a Howard Stern show, which I totally get.
So you don't think working with me? Okay, so you're the greatest comic ever.
No, Dice. The reason I worked with you was because you're an icon. You're one of my heroes. The reason I did this is because, look, it's not, and this is what I told Howard. Howard thinks I should ask for more money. I'm like, no, it's not about the money. It's about the fact that I'm getting to work with a guy who is a true icon. He's a legend. And it was something I could tell my kids one day. I opened up for Dice, but teaming up with you, why don't we just go make our own money ourselves? You know, why do we got to team up together?
You don't think it could benefit you and us as a team teaming up together and doing giant places? You don't think that's strong?
Well, to tell you the truth, I'd rather work by myself.
But if that's what you want to do, that's up to you. I heard when I started doing Howard, my attendance record went up immediately. He gave me an outlet. It's going great between us. He gave me my own show to do. My attendance at my shows have gone up, I don't know, 80% since I went on Howard.
And no one knows that more than me, man. I know.
Let me talk a minute. Now I hear about Artie Lang and how terrific Artie is. So I think, you know what? Maybe it would be a good idea, because guys are doing this, to team up with Artie. Let's see what happens. So I approach you. I'm doing this Borgata gig, and I say, look, Artie, what do you want for the gig? Because I wouldn't want to insult you either. So I throw a number, and you go, you know what? That's fine, because the next night I'm at some club in Pittsburgh, and I'm making X amount, which I wouldn't say on the air. All right, great. So we do the gig. All that happened was a misunderstanding of when you got the pay, okay? I took care of it, but if you don't want to work with me, that's up to you. And if you think I can't do bigger places without you, well, you're mistaken. And if you can do 2 and 3 nights at the Borgata and in Vegas and bigger arenas without me, then go do them. I just think you're a good guy. I thought we got along terrific, and I wanted to move forward with it.
Dice, honestly, I would have opened up for you at the Borgata for nothing, just for the story. I really would have. That's how much I respect you. But honestly, the guys team up for those tours because they have trouble selling tickets on their own. I'm blessed with the fact that I'm on a show. And look, 2 years from now, if I'm not on the show anymore, I could be begging guys to give me work. That's how comedy is. But right now, I got to make as much money as I can, and I can do it on my own. And
that's up to you, though. See, Howard putting me on the air automatically brings my attendance up. I just thought it would be a great thing to team up with somebody finally.
But why?
Have the chops to go in front of a crowd and to move forward with me on things.
But Dice, as a businessman, if you could sell out those places on your own, why split the cut with me?
He's talking about bigger places. He's talking about Madison Square Garden.
We talked about it. This wasn't a one-way conversation. I said to you, we spoke about.
No, you definitely brought this up to me. Absolutely.
We spoke about something. On the in the
Artie's intimidated to tell you what he thinks sometimes.
What's that?
I guess Artie's intimidated to tell you what he thinks.
I listened to what he said.
Today.
No, listen.
No, he came clean with you today.
I listened to what he said about what the plans he wants to do, and I thought about it a little bit. But I mean, nothing is set in stone. Nobody agreed to anything. No contracts were signed, and
no contract because we got to sit down and you don't just plan giant shows. I'm talking about the shows.
Let's see. Hey, Dice, let's see what the audience has to say. Ralph, go ahead. What do you want to say?
Hey, now.
Hey,
Artie, I love you. You know that. But I think you're being a bit of a dick on a few levels here. First of all,
this is another guy who's owed me $100 for 2 years, by the way, Ralph.
You don't hound him.
The next call, they'll be ripping me apart.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So, guys,
Dice is saying, first of all, with the team up, it'd be fun. It's not necessarily about money. It'd be fun. I was excited. I wanted to go see you guys. Artie, have I ever come to see your show before? No. I was excited.
Wow, wait, Ralph, if I team up with Dice, you'll come? Whoa, wait, Dice, where are we next, man? I can get Ralph Sorella to come to the show?
Just listen for a minute. You know,
fuck off, Ralph.
Here's a guy there. Yeah. But since you didn't, all I did was take care of business when I got home. That's all it comes
Dice, wouldn't you think to mention to me, look, I'm going on the road, Art. It might be 12 to 14 days before you get the money.
But I did tell you where I'm going. You know, I told you I'm going to Florida. I said I'm going to Vegas. And then I got home. I took care of it. I don't know what you're getting so crazy about.
I still don't have the money.
No, I think this is more because somebody told me that you were yelling yesterday about I'm not an opening act. Okay?
I never said that.
No, but listen to me. And that pissed me off. I go, number one, I didn't look at him like an opening act. We had an opening act. I treated him really special. I thought he was terrific. And on top of it, you know, when you talk about how $5,000 don't mean anything, tell him how much time you even had to do for the $5,000. It wasn't like you had to go out there and destroy that crowd for an hour.
Dice.
Listen to me.
You're really fucking pissing me off, Dice. You really are. No, let me tell you something. I took a pay cut. $5,000. I sold that place out for you, motherfucker. And I did 20 minutes, and you said I'll give you $5,000. So, okay, fine. That's beautiful. How long am I going to wait for it?
I don't know why you're yelling and why you're in the studio.
Because you're saying stupid shit.
You know what? No, I'm not saying stupid shit. We were trying something out. I didn't do anything wrong. I came home. The check has been cut. I think.
What are you trying out? Not to pay me? Is that the experiment we're working with?
Maybe you don't fucking hear me, okay?
Oh, I hear you, dude.
You fucking hear that the check has been sent, okay? So it's 10 days later.
The check has been sent.
Well, let me ask you this, Artie. Is it
with you.
have you ever done like a Have you ever done a commercial or something, and then they send the check to you like a month
couple weeks
You know what I
later
mean?
or something.
That's possible.
I really don't know what this is about. I think for some reason you think you sold that room out, and you want to know something? You didn't have a fucking thing to do with that. So don't sit here.
Should we get a guy on from the Borgata? Should we get the promoter on?
Do you think I don't have to do 2 nights at the Borgata? Is that what you're talking? I've been doing the Borgata for 4 years, Ralph. Fucking on.
You mad at Ralph now? I am too.
What are you going to get me mad about? And do you think if we did a bigger place, there wouldn't be more money involved for you?
I didn't sell anything out. You're right. Plugs on this show sold it out, dude. And I'm a comedian who works on this show. Just admit you need those plugs right now.
I'm not going to give credit.
It ain't 1988 anymore.
I'm not going to give credit where credit's not due. Okay?
Wait a second. This is out of hand.
What happened here?
What happened is I did a show and Dice didn't pay me. That's what happened.
This is what I mean about everybody. You know, on the phone, they got a big fucking mouth, and it's hard to even get through what I want to say on the phone. But if I was standing there, believe me, you want to open your fucking mouth.
Oh, yeah, I would, Dice. Believe me, I would.
Hey, you would.
Believe me, I would.
You're going to get that fucking...
Hey, tonight.
Oh,
You'll be in L.A. today? Come on.
I'll be in L.A. tonight.
Bring it on. Bring it on if you got...
Come to the set of Entourage tomorrow, if they let you on. I'll try to get you a pass.
You know what? What are you talking about? Your plugs. You know what? You're doing fucking clubs, hee-hees and ha's. Don't tell me about nights at the fucking Borgata. I was trying to be cool with you. Yes, I didn't really know your ability before I came on Stern Show, and I got to know you that way. So I said, let's team up. I really don't know where this is coming from.
Dice, it's just coming from the fact that it took 11 days to get me my money.
I'm saying, hey, if I knew...
That's where it's coming from, nothing else. I don't put myself on a level of a comic as you. I really don't.
All right, chill out a minute, all right? If you would have told me this, I would have had a check for you. Because I didn't have a check for you, I got to wait till I come home, and I pay everybody that's been with me. That's how I work the business. You didn't know that, and I didn't know you wanted it that night, okay?
Not even that night. It was a Friday. We worked Monday, Tuesday, maybe Wednesday.
I've been on the road for, I don't know, 2.5 weeks, whatever it is. I came home, and I paid you. It's that simple. So I'm apologizing for the misunderstanding, if that's what it is. But other than that, I don't know what the yelling's about.
In other words, Dice is saying...
I sat there, and you know what, Howard? When I do come on your show, and I'm going to admit this, it's stupid not to, and I plug something, it sells a lot of tickets.
Yeah, and believe me, that's not the issue. In fact, Artie, I think what Dice is saying, and I don't know that it's right or wrong.
Do you understand this? Why is Artie so upset? I know
why Artie's upset. But I can clear it all up. You want me to clear it all up?
No, but I want to tell you another thing.
Well, because first of all, he said in the middle of this conversation, he said he called me this week. That did not happen.
All right?
You feel he's lying when he said he called you?
Either that or something wrong with my answering machine. I didn't get the message.
Well, you know what? I did call you. And if you didn't get it, I don't know why you didn't get it. And I'm not going to have an argument over if it's a lie that I called your machine, because I know I called you and left a message.
Well, I have no way to prove anything.
You want me to check the phone records?
So I'm not looking to fight over that. I can't fight. I can't have answering machine fights when people go, oh, I called you. Yeah, but I didn't get it.
Well, I can't prove that you did either, or didn't either, so it doesn't matter.
You really think Dice wasn't going to pay you? Is that what you're thinking?
I'll clear it up.
Robin, how long do you think I should wait for the money?
The money's sent.
A year.
Let it go. Yeah. But let me tell you something, Howard.
What am I mad about, Robin? Jesus Christ.
I'll clear this up.
How long do you wait for money, Robin?
I don't understand this.
Dice, allow me to clear this up.
All right, but let me just say this, and then you'll clear it up. Okay. After I saw Artie work, okay. And I'm man enough to admit Artie was backstage. The minute they heard his name, they started chanting Artie, Artie, Artie.
Right, that's good.
The crowd, was there for him also.
Right.
So I'm not making believe that they're not into Artie, that Artie can't sell any tickets. I got very excited. I'm going, this is fucking great. This guy really has a following.
Yes.
Did he sell that show out? No. But did the show come from the serious audience? Yes. So, of course, they know Artie Lang, and they were just as excited to see him as me. So after I see this guy perform, I'm going, this is phenomenal. Let's move forward. Let's do bigger things, okay?
All right, so let me clear this up. Let me clear this up. I think I can help here. Everybody's steamed up.
I've never seen a fight more about nothing.
No, it is about something. You're wrong. It's that it's
Howard,
about nothing.
am I crazy?
Let me say my piece.
I think you are a little nuts.
You're right, I'm a little nuts. And first of all, it's got nothing to do with the crowd chant my name, nothing to do with that. I was real excited to work with you.
Compliment. I'm not going to.
No, I know. Dice, listen to me, dude. Listen.
Well, why can't you take a compliment? I didn't say nothing wrong when I say they're chanting your name.
And I'm giving you a compliment by saying it really was thrilling to work with you, but I expect to get paid in a timely fashion.
All right, but that was a misunderstanding.
All right, let me tell you what happened.
All right, what happened?
I'll tell you what happened. I got it all down here. I've listened and I know what's going wrong.
I'm glad you paid attention.
All right. And I think if these guys do work together in the future and bigger things happen, Artie can expect not to get paid in the future, and that's okay. Listen, now here it is.
But he'll be getting not paid a lot more money.
But yeah, a lot more money. Now listen, let me tell you what happened here. When Artie goes and does shows, he is very used to getting paid that night. In other words, the house received their money. It's not like some other business.
He's used to the cash at the door kind of thing?
The cash is already there. Everyone gets paid. Even Dice says he got paid half up front and probably got paid that night the other half.
Yeah, and the first half I still haven't received yet.
All right.
Because that goes to the agent.
Right.
You know how this shit works.
So Artie, when he does a show, the way he operates is if he has a Bob Levy worker with him, he says, Bob, here, I got 20 grand for the night. Here's your $5.
You a check
here's
or
your $5. Here's this. And I mean 500, not 5,000. So here's your 500. And he hands out the money. Now, in a bigger situation like this, Artie expects the same thing. In other words, okay, if you're not going to pay me that night, let me know. Artie's embarrassed. He's not going to walk up to someone that night and go, "Where's my money?" It's not
but
dignified.
To be this upset, I mean, why is he so upset?
Because he worked, he earned the money. The money's in the bank. He wants the money right away. Now, Dice is not lying. Dice, when he runs his business, he kind of gets these guys, the opening acts and things, and he says, okay, I'll send you a check. Now, probably if Artie hadn't brought this up on the air, it might have even waited 3 or 4 weeks. And Artie wants to be paid then that night.
All right, let me ask you.
But what I don't understand is why his agent didn't tell him. I called him yesterday and I got the address and the check went out.
But Artie feels that happened as a result of the conversation on the air.
Of course
it happened because I'll tell you what happened, because I came home Sunday night from Vegas. Yesterday was Monday. I got on the phone. I made all my calls to take care of business. And it wasn't until after that I got this news of what went on your show yesterday morning.
Right. So Artie feels...
Let me ask you, do you think the level of Artie's upset is commensurate with what happened? He seems awfully angry to me.
Howard, do you think Artie is upset? Do you think Artie is upset because...
I'm going to tell you why Artie's upset.
How did this conversation start? It started with me being very calm, and then Dice started saying stuff like, he called me in the middle of the week. That didn't happen. I have no proof of that, but it didn't happen. Then he's like saying, I didn't know you needed the money, which is insulting. It's my money.
That's where Artie got upset.
Okay, Robin, let's go to the tape.
Where Artie got
now
upset.
I'm pissed at Robin.
Where Artie got upset, and I think this is right. Like people say, hey, you don't need the money. What do you with the... It's not it's like people have said that to me in my life. What do you like? I've gone and done specials.
But he's not trying to not pay
and done work. No, I know that.
I'm not trying to get away with the $5,000, Artie.
I don't think you are, Dice. That's not my accusation.
But wait a minute. The reason I even called...
Admit you didn't call me in the middle of the week, dude.
I even
just admit it.
You know what? If I didn't call you, I wouldn't be afraid to tell you I didn't call you. The reason I did call you is because I was staying in Vegas longer than normal, so I was just going to call my accountant and say, send a check. But I didn't have an address to send the fucking check to.
I gave you my agent's phone number.
But I didn't have that number with me, okay?
Well, I gave it to you at the Borgata. What'd you do with it?
I didn't know what I did with it. That's why I wanted to take care of it, but that's why
These things don't happen,
Artie? All I needed was a call. Now, you're saying you didn't get the message? What, am I going to not believe you?
I didn't get the middle of the week message. Yesterday, I got it.
All I know is this, okay? It's much better to a line. I don't even know why we're fucking fighting over
I
this.
don't know. Let's go. Well, I know
See,
why.
that's why
Artie
I
feels
need to
insulted
know.
because people are saying to him, "What's the big deal? It's $5,000." It is a big deal.
Dice, I was not upset at the beginning of this conversation, nor was I upset yesterday. I just mentioned, you know what, I haven't gotten the money yet. And Howard was like, wow, Howard, I mean, go to the tape yesterday. Howard you were a little surprised that I didn't get the money, correct?
I didn't know anything about it. I was surprised.
Yeah, you were surprised I didn't get paid
You
yet.
were a little upset yesterday, Artie.
Yeah, but not like this. Not after
I don't
this
need to
bullshit.
do is hold back $5,000, okay? And why would I want to hold back $5,000 from a guy sat in my dressing room and say, all right, why don't we make the move to this place now? And do you know why, Howard? I'm going to tell you that the Borgata, all right, and this is no bullshit. They got over 11,000 phone calls, and that room was already sold out after I did your show last time. And I was like, fuck this. Why do another show at the Borgata when if everything works out with me and Artie, we could go into a giant place?
All right, let's hear what the audience has to say about this. Dave, you're on the air. Yes, Dave. Dave, do you want to comment or not?
Maybe he changed his mind.
Maybe he did. Maybe he's afraid to get in this conversation. It is heated, and there's a lot of aggravation in the room. Marianne.
Howard,
your friend.
Artie, you could call me a cunt all you want, but you know what, Artie? It's a damn shame. How could you? First of all, it's all about Howard, both of you, Mr. Dice and Mr. Artie Lang. It's all about Howard.
No, it's not.
The next thing, if any of you weren't there,
It's not about me. Artie and Dice are very talented guys.
Yes, but you know
While
what
the show
happened?
might help them, they're
You're
talented.
helping them get the gigs. But how could Artie beg for $5,000? You talk about just the
He's not
drunk
begging.
Artie?
He's not begging. It's his
I know
money.
it's your money, but don't you think you could have given a little time to get it? It's a disgrace. It's like embarrassing. I don't think it's a necessary fight. I think you're a very unhappy person. I can't understand it, Artie. I wish me and you could go drink coffee together so I could figure this whole thing out.
That would cheer me up.
Let's go to Jim. Jim, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to say, Artie, you way funnier than this motherfucking Andrew dumbass Clay, so you have every right
No
to
need
be
for
fucking
names.
mad.
Yeah, that's not what this is
No
about.
need for names.
He showed his true
We
colors.
love
when
both
he
these guys.
He didn't pay the man. I mean, Artie has every right to be mad. So, Artie, you don't need this dude. You can go way further. Andrew was...
All right, go back to acting school and
That's right.
accent a little more.
All right, let's go to Jimmy. Jimmy, go ahead.
Howard,
Yes.
hey now.
Hey, now.
Listen, you know, the funny thing is I really used to like Andrew Dice Clay. And years ago, like, I'd watch all his stuff. I'd even watch his crappy movies.
Why does this have to be an attack on
Yeah,
Dice?
this
Why
is
can't
a
we talk
business
about...
thing.
Why can't it...
Let the guy talk.
All right, go ahead.
You know what? When people have done nothing with their lives,
We let Ralph talk.
Right. All right, Artie's right.
What is going on with you? I think we've slipped into Artie
let's get Zero on the
Psycho
phone
land.
call. So his friend in another car could go, I heard you too.
Dice, listen. what I'm
There's
saying
nothing
is-
to listen about.
I'm
You're a
saying I
zero.
used to
You
be
know
a-
nothing about what you're
Dice,
talking about.
I used to be
You-
I was a big
You're
fan
a
of
nobody
yours.
that never
Compliment.
did anything and never will. So you can't even believe how it has you on the air now. This is your, I don't know, 60 seconds of fucking fame. You zero in the game of life.
That's exactly what
That's who you are. That's what I think.
Well, let the guy...
you do.
Let's hear what the guy has to say.
No, but when a guy starts a conversation, he's not interested in what went on with me and Artie. He's interested in going, oh, I even watched his crappy movies. Right there, you
Yeah,
go.
that was not fair.
Okay.
That was not
Really
fair.
doesn't
I
have
thought it was kind of funny.
Have you watched Artie's crappy movies?
Have you watched Artie's crappy movies, sir?
Yeah, I watched all these crappy movies, too.
Oh, okay.
I have 5 crappy movies. Dice only has 1.
But the bottom line is that the only
And
one
I know who the guy is. By the way, how's your wife, that fucking pig?
the one
Just talking, you know, because I haven't talked to you for a long time either. How is
All right,
that
let's go to
fucking
someone
pig?
who's gonna. Let's go to someone else. Nicole, you're on the air. Go ahead, Nicole.
Morning, everybody. How are you?
Hi.
Hello?
Yes, Nicole.
We're
Say.
here.
Hey, I'm sorry. I just want to let you know I'm listening at work. You guys are the best reality show ever, and I think Dice is a little overreacting. I think he really wants to do this thing with Artie,
Right.
And you can't blame Artie for not wanting to. He can do it on his own and stuff. And as much as he's an icon.
Well, you know what? He's entitled to, but I just thought we had an understanding that we wanted to do more shows.
Yeah, see, I'm thinking that you guys had a conversation,
Right.
and Artie's agreed to something that Artie wasn't really into agreeing to.
I haven't agreed to anything, Robin. I agreed to getting $5,000 for the show.
Robin, I said we were talking about doing bigger things.
Right.
I said, Artie, are you in? And he goes, yeah, I'm in.
All right,
That's all it was about. But you know what? Let's be stupid about things. Let's not align and do gigantic shows all over the country. Let's just stay separate if that's what you want.
Well, this is getting very sad. Steve, go ahead. I'll give two more people say in this. Steve, go ahead.
Artie, you stupid guinea bastard. Let me tell you something right now. You're not pissed off over the fact that you didn't get paid. You're pissed off for the fact that you didn't get more money when after the show you said, you know what, I should have got more money for that fucking gig.
I don't feel that way.
No, that's
exactly
not true.
how you feel, Artie. That's bullshit.
No, that's not true at all. No.
bullshit.
I just want the money that was offered to me.
If he's going to be underpaid, he wants to be underpaid right away.
Let me tell you something. Do you think that Andrew Dice Clay is not going to pay you? Are you kidding me or what?
No, sir. I know he's going to pay me, sir.
Artie
I know.
feels he shouldn't have to.
And I do, I have sent the check now. That's why I don't understand why we're fighting. Like I keep saying, I'll apologize one more time. If I would have known that I'm not going to do it in an antagonistic way. If you wanted that money that night, because we discussed the money, and you said something to me, I just would have had a check cut to bring with me. But I didn't have checks to bring with me. I get paid at
Is that fair, Artie? Is that a fair statement from Dice?
I wasn't looking to snub the guy.
Artie, why is that not fair?
No, I mean, I expected to get paid. Honestly, I expected to get paid that night, but
I didn't know that. I really didn't know that.
Maybe he has a different business procedure that you're just becoming aware of.
I started this trip. I did the Mandalay Bay in Vegas, came back to New York for Borgata, then went to Florida for shows, and then went back to Mandalay Bay. I took care of this on Monday, which was yesterday, and it had nothing at all to do with what you were yelling about on the air. I mean, it's just how
I wasn't yelling about anything. I mentioned it that I didn't get paid yet, and Howard found it surprising that I didn't get paid yet.
Yeah, but you know what? Howard didn't do the gig. This was our thing. And you could have called me and left me a message going, Dice, even after a week.
No, you said to me you were surprised you didn't get paid.
We wouldn't have known you hadn't gotten paid unless you brought it up.
No, I said I haven't gotten paid yet.
Right.
And you were like, did Dice get paid? I'm like, I think so.
What I'm saying, Artie, if it bothered you at all, you could have just left me a message going, Dice, I haven't received my check yet.
My agent called your agent a million times.
My father is on the phone now.
Could somebody bring some clarity to this?
If my father gets on the phone, you know he must be worked up.
I don't know what's happening.
Dad, what's happening here?
Oh, look, first of all, I'm exhausted. I've been listening to this friends, with this hot weather. No, I just want to give my 2 cents. I see two people who have different modes of operation.
Right.
Okay. So that's the whole argument. So one man has one operation and the other guy has another operation. Nobody decided beforehand how the operations would gel. So now you find there was a mistake because one guy didn't know how the other guy felt. So all you have to do, each one of you say, look, in the future this won't happen. It was a mistake. I'm sorry it happened. I was in business with 3 other guys, 4 partners. And if we didn't use this philosophy, we would never stay.
You'd have been like this every day.
Now, Dad, when you were in the recording business, I remember people would record, and then some months later they would pay you.
Of course.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's a different kind of business. That's not a direct thing. I wouldn't even, you
not comparable. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but I also don't think it's worth destroying the friendship we're building and what went on in that crowd. I mean, that crowd was one of the most intense crowds I've been in front of years, and I do feel it had a lot to do with me and Artie together.
All right, so this was
instead of fighting.
Dad, you're saying this is a difference of business practice.
Listen, just to give you an example, I mean, how to handle things. Well, there's Barry Bonds and Giambi. Giambi went to the court. He told the truth. The other guy's boozing around the bush. Now, what do you have here? Giambi now is a big hero in Yankee Stadium. He's doing great. and nobody's looking to get him. They're not investigating him. So the whole idea is you got to come forth and say it was a mistake, and in the future it's not going to operate that way. This is the way it operates. As long as the two of you were successful together, the other thing is chicken shit.
Yeah, well, that's how I felt. That's why I keep going. Hey, I'm sorry, I didn't realize.
I guess Artie is feeling sensitive because he's the guy still without the $5,000, and I understand that.
Ben, do you think Artie is overreacting?
No.
No?
I don't.
I disagree.
I don't.
You know why I don't think Artie's? Let me tell you what my.
All right.
Feeling. Artie's not overreacting. He wasn't told that this is the
right.
operation that he has.
Artie
now,
has a different way.
But Mr. Stern, that was not agreed to beforehand. If it was one thing where Dice said, certainly, Artie, you're going to get your money there that night, and then he stiffed him, that's another situation.
Right.
But nobody talked about it. So Dice wasn't necessarily in the wrong, and neither was Artie.
Okay, so
I agree with you on the point that they didn't talk about it. That's the only thing I agree about.
Well, I think what your dad's saying, Howard, is, let's put that behind us. Now when we do another gig, all right, if you whatever the money is, you get that up front, if that's how you want to get paid, and we just continue. The point is that it was so phenomenal. That gig was so phenomenal. It would be stupid for us not to keep going.
All right. Dad, thank you. One last thing. Go ahead.
Thing.
Yes.
What?
I believe in the bottom line on any situation. I always trust the bottom line. The bottom line is the future. You two guys, if you both agree, you're great together, you're going to be successful together, that's important.
Artie doesn't want to be together.
Artie doesn't like
this.
Thing
that's a whole other
thing. Listen,
Artie, go ahead.
Here's the point. If you we know a lot of comedians. Get them on the phone. See how the comedy business works. I want to know.
Let me do that for you.
I want to know. I want to know how long they've waited for checks after.
Dad, thank you.
I have never seen this much craziness over the check.
Artie, you're right. I mean, this is ludicrous. It shouldn't be that.
That's why I said it's an overreaction. There's something else here.
Yeah. No. You see, if he's operating in a ludicrous way, that's not satisfying to you, he's wrong. And you also don't accept his way of operating, so you're wrong. So in other words, it's past that point.
Right.
Listen, I'm admitting I'm not going to make anything up. Nothing was discussed. I never said to Dice, look, I expect this money tonight. He never promised that to me. But we're in the same business, and I'm saying I've been doing comedy a long time. You get paid usually, if not that night, within a couple of days. So it's been 10 days, and this conversation started with me going, Dice, when am I going to get the check? And then as it rolled on, Dice claimed he made a phone call, which I didn't get.
Wait a minute. Wait, say that again. I missed that.
All right. Wait, let me hang up on my phone. Dad, thank you.
Okay, I'm getting off.
All right, thank you. I hear what Artie's saying. He's saying it's common practice in the comedy business to be paid that night or within 2 or 3 days.
But maybe Dice has a different operation.
No, it's not even a different operation. If I have, you know what? If I have like just a regular opening act, okay, which I don't consider Artie, and I didn't consider him. Once again, I'm saying this as an opening act. He wasn't considered that way. We had a guy. We had the boy Jameson open. If I got a guy like that, Jameson doesn't get close to what I paid Artie. So I just take care of him.
Bob Levy's on the phone. Bob, you're a comic.
I'll do it for $50.
Tell us what's going on.
First of all, Ralph is an idiot. Okay, second of all,
Thank
you get paid that night. Whenever me and Artie did gigs, we would tell the promoters to have the check there that night. There's no thinking about anything else. We're not going to get sent a check. We're working that night. We're going to get paid that
Bob, what's the longest? You've been doing stand-up for years. What's the longest you ever waited for a check?
I would have him overnighted if I didn't have it there that day.
Right.
Yeah, but I'm not a promoter. I'm a comic. So I got the check from the hotel. I keep the check.
But Dice, if you got half the money from the hotel, why not give me half my money that night?
How am I going to give it? Should I rip the check in half?
Just write a check out.
Have a check ready. Or tell the promoter, make out half to Artie.
No, but listen to me. If I would have known you wanted it that night, if it was discussed at all, it just would have been handled.
All right, listen. We can't go on with this all day. I'm sorry you guys have this going on. Artie, I understand from Dice what he's saying. Your check is in the mail.
Right.
That's it. It was handled. It's handled the day I came home.
Dice, it would be great if the check would bounce.
But Artie
That
feels
would be
insulted
phenomenal.
some way.
No, I don't feel insulted. I feel he's not admitting to lying that he called me in the middle of the week.
Listen, everything went so good, and you're turning something that went so good into something bad, and it shouldn't be.
No. I'm not turning this into anything bad, Dice. All I asked at the beginning was, I haven't gotten paid yet. When am I getting the check? And then a conversation started, and a couple of things happened in that conversation that got
Dice's
me
answer
aggravated.
is your check is coming within a day or two.
But I'm calmed down again.
All right.
Me too.
All right, here's the answer.
But the big eye opener is, for the last 4 years, I've sat down with my agent. I did 5,000 people in Philly once, and I said, listen, how do we get Ralph Sorella to a gig?
Oh.
How do we get Ralph to come?
Ralph, you seem to have really ticked Artie off more than anything.
I think I figured it out now.
What?
Here's the problem. The reason, and I think everybody agrees, Artie is overreacting. Robin's saying it, Fred's saying it, but you're going to attack me. That's okay, Artie.
I'm not attacking you. I'm not attacking you.
I think Artie needs distractions in his life to make himself miserable, whether he's fucking up his relationship with Dana, whether he's eating himself to death, whether he's getting mad that he didn't get $5,000. He needs something to be upset and distracted
He was.
Ralph, how much longer should I wait for the $100 you owe me?
You're going to be waiting forever.
I know, of course I will. And we just have to accept the fact that...
What is with that, Ralph? Why do you owe him $100 and you're not paying him?
Artie put in a bet for me. I lost the bet.
You owe him $100.
I lost the bet with Will, too. And I said, Will, just pay him the money because I wasn't at the
Will, please come in here. Please come in here.
Why should Will have to be responsible for your debt?
I'm going to go ask Will, who hardly makes any money.
Artie, I'll be in Thursday. I'll pay you Thursday, okay?
That ain't happening.
All right, so that's
2 years.
Well, you know, you want to
this whole thing is crazy to me. I got to be honest. Just listening to this whole thing.
Well,
I don't understand why you couldn't just call me and go, I didn't get my check yet.
I did call you. My agent called your agent. I knew you were on the road, and I was on the road, so I figured the agents would deal with it.
The answer to your question, let's get back to it. The answer to Artie's question as to when he is going to be paid is, I would estimate that if Dice sent the check yesterday, I don't know if he FedExed
How was it sent?
How was it sent, Dice?
Who cut it?
I called my accountant and I said, cut a check to this guy and first I got the agent's number. I called the accountant. I said, this is his agent's number. What is it? Am I right with his first name?
Yeah, right.
Okay, all right. So you at least know I know that. I said, this is his name. Call him up now and send the check.
All right, so the check...
So you found the number that you lost.
The road manager.
Dice, you told me you lost the agent's number.
What's that?
You told me you lost my agent's number. Where'd you get it from again?
I the agent's number, and I went through a million papers that I got on the road. It was written on a little piece of paper. I found it, and I called my accountant. What is this, a fucking murder trial?
No, you're lying, Dice, and you're backpedaling.
Oh, my God.
I have no reason to lie. What is wrong with you?
Well, why would you say you said you lost my agent's number?
Yes, I lost the little piece of paper you wrote.
And then you
on,
found it again.
As you know, when you're on
Would
the
you
road,
pray to St. Anthony?
You collect all kinds of papers, okay? So I went through all of them.
I'm wearing my medal. Maybe he used this.
You know what? But yesterday was also the first time I'm even hearing about this.
Ross Zapin wants to come in and defend you, Dice.
Good.
Bring him in then.
All right, let's hear what he has to say. This is
the craziest.
This is what happens sometimes.
For $100.
I'm here to defend both of you guys. I think the biggest mistake here was you guys are talent. You've done shows before. Your representative should have called his representative and kept the two of you out of it.
But Ross, they did. My agent called his. I get my agent.
But you want to know something? You also let me tell you this, Artie, and it's something I won't discuss on the air. There are some problems right now with my particular agent, so I haven't even talked to him. Okay? He actually did call me yesterday, and I didn't call him back yet because of something else going on. Okay, which has nothing to do with you.
All right. Well, we won't get into that. Fine.
Ross,
so I got to say this. I believe your agent called him. I just haven't talked to my guy yet.
Ross
but in the meantime, without any of that, I still called my accountant, and I took care of all my bills and all the guys I had to pay.
Ross Sapin, I want to thank you for nothing. You clarified nothing.
No. But I made the point. But let me go back. But if,
I gotta say this about Ross. See, I talked to Ross, and I told Ross how incredible that show went, and he was happy to hear it because he was even smart enough to go, you know what? You two teaming up is an incredible...
He was even smart enough?
But wait a second. I just want to roll back.
I've never heard that before.
Wait, no.
Nobody's ever called Ross.
And Ross, who are you again?
I'm nobody.
Ross, who are you again, just so people know? Well, what is your title here?
Vice President Promotions, Event Marketing.
All right, so this is a guy who knows something about it.
But I have to, my previous history is I booked Dice when I worked for a concert promoter, and I've been in the business. Now, I know you're closer to it, Artie.
Howard, I'm going to say this just to let people know who Ross is. When I first came into New York, before I ever even did your show, okay, before I even went on your show ever for the first time, I'm talking years ago, Ross was the first guy to bring me into New York and put me in contact.
All right, absolutely.
He was working with Ron Delsman.
All right,
That's
this
right.
is a man who knows.
All right, listen, here, let me sum this up. Wait, I got to get out of this for a second. So let me sum it up. I think I can help.
I don't think you can.
No.
No, I think I can.
Can't be done.
Let me help.
Feels like he's responsible for the show. And
Artie has a way of doing business. It's like my father said. Artie has a way of doing business. He's been in the nightclub business for his whole life, ever since he stopped being a longshoreman.
But this was a minor mistake. He is acting as if Dice killed his
It's not a minor
mistake.
He understands it was a different way of doing business, but he feels what's compounded it is a series of statements that is infuriating him.
Ugh.
I think he had an axe to grind.
Am I right, Artie?
Before this even happened.
No. Honestly, Fred, I didn't. I was very calm
Artie
at the beginning.
thought that he should be paid.
You want to know something?
Then,
Here's three things. Number one, I think Artie thinks he was underpaid. I think
No,
it's part
I
of the
don't think
contest.
that's it.
Let me
He's
finish.
not
Let me
saying
finish.
that.
That's number one. Number two, I think he thinks he sold it out. Dice has a different opinion.
I don't think
Number
that's
three,
it.
the third compounding factor is he didn't get paid. So if he thinks he's underpaid and he thinks he sold it out and he didn't get paid, he's coming in with an axe to grind.
Right.
And I have one question for Artie. When Dice asked you that day to do the gig, were you actually happy that he asked you, or did you feel like you were put on the spot and you didn't know how to say no?
No, I was happy to work with him.
But
absolutely.
Did you have any misgivings about doing it, especially since you had another gig coming up and it was kind of bad timing?
The scheduling was a problem, but no, I would love the opportunity to work with him. No, definitely,
Okay.
I was happy to work with him.
But it was also a great opportunity to see how that show came off, right?
Yeah,
Right on.
it was
and the show
great.
came off phenomenal.
I don't think
you're on the air. Wait a minute.
I think Fred is wrong. The problem is Artie expected to be paid that night.
But shouldn't that have been communicated up front?
Yes, it was a miscommunication.
Yeah, you're right. I did not
Artie
communicate
thinks that that's
no.
something that should be known. It's not something you need to teach
Not
him
even
over
that.
time.
But should Artie have to?
Wrong.
But should Artie have to communicate that to Dice? Should Artie's agent have said up front, "Hey, this is what the deal is"?
Artie thought that that's something that comics know. That's what he thought.
That's ridiculous.
But Dice has been doing
ridiculous.
It is ridiculous to think somebody knows
It's a
something.
misunderstanding between two guys.
And then to carry on like this.
No, it's compounding because things are being said.
What's
Let me ask you a question.
What really got me
Artie's
mad
being
was
a little
Dice said he
insulted.
called me in the middle of the week, and he did.
But he says he did. Is he going to lie about
I'll
it?
tell you what's stupid. I'll tell you what's stupid. See, we're having an argument today, Artie, and when I left that gig, all I'm thinking of is where do we go next? What's the bigger venue we play, okay? Now, of course, we could both do our own gigs separately, but you there?
Yeah. Where would I go?
He's left.
That's right, no, because I'm on the phone, okay? But this is what happens, and I don't know who put anything in your ear. This is what I spoke to Howard when I first came in about our fight, that other people get in between shit and say shit, and by the time we even hooked up today, we're both fucking yelling. That's what happens, and it's bullshit. So if I'm telling you I called you, I called you. And if you didn't get the message, I'm sorry you didn't get the message. But the bottom line is, I'm at least man enough. I say, you know what? If I knew you wanted it that night, it would have been handled. I didn't know it. I took care of it like I always do at the end of a trip. I take care of all my business. I always have with anybody that's ever worked for me. I've never had any problems. What's going to be fucked up is if we don't do more shows, because then other people out there go, look at this, they did one fucking show and it falls the fuck apart.
All right, look, we got to move on, guys.
But when you're sitting there on the phone also and going, yeah, you want me to do the shows because I'll plug them. Of course I want you to plug them. Who the fuck should I hire? Some guy that just got on a Catch a Rising Star and did 3 minutes? You want 2 guys that could go out there, because I'm not looking to do Borgata. I'm looking to do the biggest fucking stadiums in the country. And I turned around to you after that show and I said, I want you to do it with me. That's what's fucked up if you don't. Not the 5,000. The 5,000 is fucking chicken feed compared.
You didn't write Ohio.
No,
Neil Young
Neil did.
But you love that song.
Well, I get a call from Crosby. I'm in Los Angeles. Neil and David are up in a place that I had in Pescadero in Northern California. It was a friend's house. Crosby called me. He goes, book the studio right now. Get the band together. Get Halverson, who's our engineer, Bill Halverson. I'm coming down tomorrow. I said, boy, you sound intense. What the hell's going on?
What's going on?
He said, wait until you hear this song. I said, what is it? He said, it's called Ohio, and Neil wrote it. I said, what happened? He said, I showed Neil a newspaper with you remember that famous John Philo picture of the girl leaning over the dead body?
You're talking about at Kent State.
At Kent State.
One of the students had been shot by a National Guardsman.
4 of them.
Yes.
We slaughtered our own children.
Yes.
Right, so here's the story. So he shows Neil this newspaper or this magazine, whatever it was. He said, I saw Neil walk off with his guitar into the woods, and he comes back an hour later with this song. Right?
Wow.
We had Teach Your Children going, it was already in the top 20. It was going towards the top of the charts.
Right.
We put out Ohio immediately and killed our own single because we thought it was more important to talk about America killing its own children than having a hit record.
You're telling me that Neil Young goes off into the woods, an hour later comes out with a fully formed song.
Completely done, finished.
And Crosby thought the song was so important and so good. He said, come on, guys, let's get together, record this.
Immediately.
Even at
and
the...
put it out immediately.
And put it out immediately.
Ahmet Ertegun was in the studio. So we cut Ohio. It took us about an hour and a half.
The whole song was cut in an hour and a half.
Oh, yeah. It's a very simple song.
No one does that anymore.
Well, you know.
Would you grace us with a little bit of Ohio?
Sure. Soldiers and Nixon coming, we're finally on our own. This summer I hear the drumming for dead in Ohio. Gotta get down to it, soldiers are cutting us down. Should have been done long ago. What if you knew her and found her dead on the ground? How can you run when you know, no, 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 no? Na 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 na. Gotta get down to it. Soldiers are cutting us down. Should have been done long ago. What if you knew her and found her dead on the ground? How can you run when you know, you know, you know? Tin soldiers and Nixon coming, we're finally on our own. This summer I hear the drumming for dead in Ohio, for dead in Ohio, for dead in Ohio, for dead in Ohio.
That is one powerful song.
He's here now. So you want to?
Graham Nash?
Yeah.
I'll do the notes with you. We'll get started. What was the when the Crosby, Stills and Nash got together? He was in the Hollies.
Yes.
But he was that'll okay. I'll start that from King Midas' story.
He was sort of disillusioned with the direction they were taking.
Right, and then he hooked up with Crosby. And where did they find Stills?
No, Crosby and Stills were at Joni Mitchell's house, and
that's where they met.
She invited Graham to come over. I think the way I read it was she sort of knew these three guys should get together, but it seemed like an accident. Mm-hmm. And in the book, he says they go over. Crosby and Stills have a new song. They play it once. Graham goes, play it again. And Graham goes, can you do it one more time? And this time he jumps in with them, and they create this sound.
Well, Graham Nash is here, which I'm excited about. One of my favorite artists of all time, Graham Nash. Of course, of the great band Crosby, Stills and Nash, originally of the Hollies, inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for about 20 different reasons. Look at you.
Twice.
You look good. Yeah, you really do. You take care of yourself, right?
No, it's really easy to look like a peacock when you're standing next to two turkeys.
Well, yes, but, it's funny. When I even see Neil Young now, he's put on a tremendous amount of weight.
Really?
I think so.
I saw Neil a week ago. He didn't look...
he looked heavy to me.
Well, as we get older, I mean, look at you. You look great, too. I mean,
No, I'm trying to keep the weight down. You keep
How
the
old
weight
are you
down.
now, 40?
40. Oh.
Yeah.
You're so
40.
flattering.
And what are you like? 43, I read.
Yeah, just over. 43 and a half.
Does it kill you getting older, honestly? I mean, it literally does kill you, but...
It's not for the faint-hearted, Howard, as you well know.
No.
When you wake up with aches and pains, things drop off and things grow that you never even knew.
When you were writing your book, all right, because Graham has put out a new book, Graham Nash, and we're going to talk about it today, but... When you were writing your book, and you go back and you sort of look at your archives and you look at all the pictures of you guys when you were young, isn't it? It's like looking at a different person, right?
And it's terrifying. That's the one thing about celebrity that I'm not crazy about is seeing myself from a young kid to grow into this, gray-haired man here.
Because, I'm always shocked when I look at the old Crosby, Stills and Nash pictures and I see, David Crosby was this shockingly good-looking guy. I mean, he's gotten out of shape. Age has not been kind. But the voice is still there, right?
Crosby's singing his ass off, kid.
He's lucky he can. I mean,
that's right.
He's a survivor.
That's right. Well, I think the average lifespan for a liver transplant is like 15 years.
Right.
He's already
and
18
how many years is
18 and going.
Wow, that's remarkable. I'm thinking about the Crosby, Stills and Nash and your new book because you write about the history, and I always love that. And I love talking music with musicians and how you wrote certain songs.
Right.
So I'm excited that you're here today, especially with your guitar. And, I was thinking all the way back to, the Hollies. When you were in there, and you started to write music, and you started to get experimental with your music. That's why you left the Hollies. They were being mean to you.
No, they weren't really being mean. They were just content. They were content to have every single go into the top 10.
When you wrote this song, the Hollies were like, that's too experimental.
King Midas in reverse.
King Midas in reverse. You wrote this, you brought it to the Hollies, and you said, let's do this. And they said, dude, we just want to write hits. What is this?
Yes.
Was that the last straw for you? Were you like, that's it, I'm done?
Yeah.
You knew it.
Well, a couple of things happened. They didn't want to do that. I'd actually written Marrakesh Express, and somewhere in the bowels of EMI, Abbey Road, there's a track of the Hollies doing Marrakesh, and it sucks. Right?
Wow.
So those two things, they wanted to do an album of Bob Dylan songs in Las Vegas, kind of brass, kind of, it sucked.
So you're saying you brought them Marrakesh Express, and they...
Didn't think it was going to be a hit.
Oh, my God. One of the biggest hits for Crosby, Stills and Nash.
Correct.
And you did that stick in your craw? And one day when you finally were set up with Crosby, Stills and Nash, you brought it to them and you said, look, guys, let's do this. And they were probably like, yeah, this is it. Let's do it.
That's why I'm so bonded to Crosby, because he saved my ass. Because when you refuse to record what we consider to be decent songs, it shakes you to your core as a musician, as an artist. You think, I must be wrong. If they're not doing it, I must be. But then Crosby said, come over here.
I can't imagine how many people's spirits were crushed by someone saying no. I feel like that about my early career in radio. So many people say no, and I'm amazed that I just kind of knew to keep going. And you leaving the Hollies is not a very secure kind of thing. That was a big deal.
It was a big deal, except for one thing, Howard.
Yeah.
I had heard me and David and Stephen sing.
Was that at Joni Mitchell's house?
It was indeed in her living room, yes.
All right, so you guys got together. You were in the Hollies. Crosby was in, what band was he in at that point?
I think he'd just been thrown out of the Byrds.
He was thrown out of the Byrds. You were all sort of outcasts of different bands.
That's right.
And Stephen
I wasn't so out.
Joni Mitchell understood that you guys would work well together, right?
Actually, Cass Elliot.
Was that who?
Before John, yes.
Cass Elliot said you should meet David Crosby.
Mama Cass.
Yes, Mama. Hey, Robin, how are you doing, kid?
Mama Cass, you say in your book, tried to seduce you. You were not interested in having sex with her.
No.
But you became very good friends.
Incredible friends, yes.
Was she upset about that? The fact that, I mean, it had to be hard for her because she wasn't a stunningly beautiful woman.
Yeah, it must have been hard for Cass because, you know, she was a very loving woman.
Right.
And she knew that she was overweight. She knew, you know. I think she had a crush on Denny. You know, from the Mamas and Papas.
Right. She absolutely did.
And that didn't go anywhere, you know.
Yeah.
I made her cry within 5 minutes of meeting her because she asked me what would John Lennon think of the Mamas and Papas, and I said, well, knowing John a little, you know, he'd probably put you down at first until he felt comfortable and let you into his close circle, you know.
And she started crying?
Oh, yeah.
Because she felt,
she had a crush on John, but I didn't know it.
Oh, it must have been so hard for her because she's around all these exciting artists, these good-looking guys. You guys are good-looking guys, and she couldn't. She was probably sexually frustrated. And meanwhile, in the Mamas and the Papas, Michelle Phillips was like the sex bomb of all time.
That's why I went down to the studio.
Did you instantly fall in love with Joni Mitchell when you met her?
I'm afraid I have to say yes.
Yeah.
It was an astounding moment.
She's some artist, huh?
Brilliant. She's a genius.
Were you intimidated by her talent, or did it spur you on to write great music?
No, I was full of piss and vinegar. I thought I was, you know, decent, you know, songwriter until I started hanging out with David and Stephen and Neil and Joni, and then I began to really realize what songwriting should be about.
When you hang out with people like Joni Mitchell and Stephen Stills and David Crosby, do you become a better songwriter?
Absolutely.
They teach you things by just hanging out with them?
Absolutely.
Wow.
To see the way they structure songs, to see what they talk about in songs.
You know what's an amazing story? Stephen Stills, and I agree with you that he is one of the most underrated guitar players. I find him unbelievable, even when he did his solo work. Tremendous guitar solos and all that stuff.
Yes.
But Joni Mitchell wrote the song Woodstock.
Indeed.
She was upset, right, that she didn't get to go to Woodstock.
Well, she was supposed to go.
Right.
You know, but she also, Woodstock finished on the Sunday. She was supposed to do the Dick Cavett show on Monday, and it was a very important TV show for her biggest entry into TV world, right?
Right, yeah.
But then when 20,000 people are coming, 50,000 people are coming, 100,000 people are coming, 500,000 people are coming, Elliot and Geffen didn't think she'd be able to get out of there to do the TV show.
And they were worried about that.
Oh, of course.
And that killed her.
Kept her there.
So that killed her, and she decided, that's it, I'm writing this song, Woodstock. But getting to my point about Stephen Stills, when he heard this song,
yes,
he said,
He said, Joan, can I use that song? Well, of course, she said. But can I change it? And he turned it into the great rock and roll song that it is.
He really did. Stephen Stills heard this song and knew how to arrange it to make it a hit. And
Absolutely.
That's genius, isn't it?
It is.
Even he took someone else's song.
That's right.
And this is one of the best Crosby, Stills, and Nash songs of all time, I think. I love when Joni does it.
How does Joni feel about it?
Joni must have loved it.
I think she did because, I mean, you know, it took her song, which was like a dark, purpley kind of song, and turned it into a balls-out rock and roll song.
So you're saying that when you were with the Hollies, they stifled your creativity. Mama Cass introduces you to Crosby. You and Crosby vibe immediately.
Indeed.
Do you just go off somewhere and play together? How does this vibe
No,
occur?
we didn't actually. We didn't actually. Crosby called me one day and he said, come on, I want you to go up to my friend Peter Tork's house. Peter was, of course, in the Monkees and a very, very great, you know, social kind of guy.
Was Peter Tork a good musician? Or was it just the Monkees?
That's a good, compared to what?
I mean, were any of those guys, I've heard people say Michael Nesmith.
He just gave good parties.
Yeah, right. So Tork had good parties.
That's right.
And you guys were up for a party.
Yeah, and Crosby and I went up there and we opened up the door of the house, and of course this incredible cloud of smoke comes out of the front door.
Right.
And there's this kid pounding the shit out of the piano. And I'm trying to listen to this kid because it's great. And Crosby's nattering at me, and I say, wait a second, I want to hear this kid. He goes, if you'll just shut up, that's who I want to introduce you to. His name is Stephen Stills.
Oh, wow. And Stills, what was he doing at that point?
The Buffalo Springfield had broken up.
Oh, I see. So he was free.
He was
free
free.
agent.
Yeah.
So much of this depends on timing, right? Because once you get into a band and a record deal and all that,
with different record companies.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's when the three of you said, "Hey, let's sit down and maybe write a few songs together, see if we can do that." Is that when you played in Marrakesh Express?
No.
No.
What happened is I came from London to Los Angeles to be with Joni.
Right.
And David and Stephen were at dinner. And after dinner and smoking a big one, you know, David says to Stephen, "Hey, play Willie that song." And so they sang You Don't Have to Cry, which is a great Stephen Still song.
Right.
They did it two-part. I said, "Wow, incredible song. Do me a favor, sing it one more time." They looked at each other, kind of shrugged, and sang it one more time. They got to the end, and I said, "Okay, bear with me. One more time." I had my harmony down. I had the words remembered. Whatever vocal sound Crosby, Stills, and Nash has was born in 40 seconds.
Wow. That's crazy.
Crazy, right?
Yeah, it's unbelievable. So you guys meet, and there was some sort of story in your book about that you auditioned, in a way, for... Who
Yes.
was it? Who did you audition
Well,
for?
we had this apartment in London on Moscow Road where we were rehearsing the first record, and we were good. We could play that entire first record on a couple of acoustic guitars and 3 voices.
Wow.
We were pretty damn good.
You were well rehearsed.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And George Harrison and Peter Asher came over. We kind of wanted to be on Apple. They just signed James Taylor.
Yeah.
They were an up-and-coming record company.
Perfect
It was
fit.
the Beatles. Come
Right.
on, let's go.
Yeah.
They didn't like what we did.
Peter Asher
And George Harrison.
And George Harrison listened to you guys perform that first album.
Live in front of their face.
And they is that intimidating?
We thought we were crazy. We thought, well, maybe we're not this good. But we did the same thing with Paul and Arthur.
What did George Harrison say? What did he say to you after? He goes, "Well, it's just not right for Apple."
That decision came like 2 days later. They just kind of ummed and ahed and patted us on the head
Why
and
the
left.
fuck couldn't they get that?
I don't know. To this day, I don't know.
And then you also played in front of
Paul and Arthur,
Paul Simon,
and Art Garfunkel. Same thing.
Yeah, Simon and Garfunkel.
They
sat
didn't
you
get it
down.
either?
They had the ability to get you signed to what? Some label, right?
Yeah, Columbia. Probably, you know.
And you sat down and you played them the first album.
Yes,
live. You
start
did a concert.
to finish, and they didn't get it.
Wow.
Now, what was
Maybe
that?
you guys aren't good.
That's what we
That's
thought.
what that proves.
That's what we thought. And then I thought, well, maybe it's competition or...
Oh, that would have crushed me.
It would have crushed me.
That's crazy.
It was crazy. We didn't quite know what was really going on.
Is that the beauty of being in a band? When you get crushing news like that, at least you have your 2 brothers to sort of
absolutely.
lean on. And
Yeah,
say,
you can light one up and forget the whole thing.
So who the hell believed in you?
Ahmet Erdogan.
Ahmet Erdogan. Boy, that guy had a set of ears, huh?
I'm telling you.
Where, did you do the same thing for Ahmet? Did you
And
go?
he loved it to death.
He got it.
Because he's a music man.
Right.
That's one of the things that's wrong with music companies now.
But George Harrison is a musician.
Yeah, I know, and so is Peter
And so is
Asher.
Paul Simon.
Right.
And so is Arthur Garfunkel.
It's unbelievable.
It blew my mind.
So it proves a point that Ahmet Erdogan, who is a businessman,
but a music man.
A music man, but a businessman, got it more. He understood the commercial potential of Crosby, Stills,
and it was Ahmet that wanted that suggested Neil join us.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, because you see, Stephen had played almost every instrument on that first record. He played the bass, he played the B3, he played lead guitar, he played the piano, right?
Yeah.
When we made that record and we knew that we had to go on the road, how do we do that if one member played all the instruments?
Is that why Neil Young was always in and out of the band? Stephen is such a strong musical presence and really a master arranger and stuff. Did those 2 clash? Is that the problem?
They must have. Because, you know, when Ahmet said, I know who you need to get, man. You need to get Neil Young.
Why did he feel Crosby, Stills, and Nash even needed Neil Young? Brilliant move. I mean, I love the combination of the 4 of you.
We did need another player to play the stuff that Stephen couldn't play if he was playing lead guitar, right?
Right.
Ahmet also understood that part of the magic of the Buffalo Springfield was this clash, guitar-wise, between Stephen and Neil, who would stand like stags on each side of the stage and play a great thing, and then Stephen would go, okay, motherfucker, try this.
It was a competition.
Okay, absolutely.
Right. So
and it's to this day.
They don't get along, do they?
No, they do. They love each other to death.
But it bothered you as a musician and also as a founding member of Crosby, Stills and Nash, that Young, and I get this so much, that Young would come and go, and that the band didn't mean as much to him as it did to the three of you.
I think it did. I just think that he was very focused and concentrated on Neil Young, as he should be.
But I got crazy as a fan when Neil would go off with Crazy Horse, and I felt Crazy Horse was not a great band compared to Crosby, Stills and Nash. I was actually angry because I love the collaboration of the four of you.
Right.
Were you personally hurt when Neil says, and Neil, how did Neil tell you he was leaving the band the first time?
He never said. Let me tell you something. You know, there's a lot of people don't think that Neil Young played in Woodstock because he's not on the film.
Why is he not on the film?
Because he told every single cameraman, you shoot one frame of me and you're dead.
And now I bet he regrets that.
Maybe. But you know what? He's a giant star, so maybe it was right.
Well, you want to know something? I've talked to Leslie West of Mountain. You know, Mountain was at Woodstock.
Sure.
They had a manager who said, concert film, we don't, unless you pay us X amount of dollars, and they were left out of the film, and it would have been huge for Mountain, because that was a great band.
Yeah. I think we all knew that Woodstock was going to be something else, you know.
Do you like your album, Four-Way Street?
I love the spontaneity and the live feel. Some of the tuning bothers me.
It is one of my favorite albums of all time.
Wait until you hear what I'm doing now, Howard.
What are you doing now?
I'm 11 mixes from a 40-song 3-CD set of Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young from our 1974 tour, and it will stun you.
Why is it so much better than Four-Way Street? The reason I like Four-Way Street is because the tuning is off and because there are errors. It wasn't manufactured. It was sitting in a real concert. I like that.
Well, we got better and better as a band.
Right.
And in 1974, which of course is, 3 or 4 years after Four-Way Street, we were a better band.
So the album you're working on now is Better Harmonies?
Yes.
Right. You're just better musicians.
And not only that, but Neil Young hit a writing streak that was unbelievable.
Unbelievably prolific.
He's a great musician. It's Neil Young, for God's sake.
So didn't it break your heart when Neil decides to leave?
No.
I want to talk to you about some of the songs you wrote, and you have been very gracious to play some of them today. And I'm so excited. By the way, we're sitting here, in case you haven't figured it out, we're here with Graham Nash. His new book is called Wild Tales, and a lot of the things we're talking about are covered in the book. You can also go to Graham Nash.
It's like he knew everyone in the music industry.
Well, barely.
He's like the Zelig of music.
These guys were so high, I don't think they know who the hell was in the room.
Right. And maybe these stories aren't even true.
You know, in a way, it's kind of dangerous when you read your book, because I am someone who dropped acid as well, and I am very anti-acid. I had a terrible experience with it. Because I took a 4-way hit by myself, and I didn't understand what was happening.
Gotcha.
But yet you credit a lot of your creativity to drugs, yeah? I mean...
Yeah, because, what else can you do? The fact is we were high most of the time.
And LSD, do you think you could have written those songs without the use of drugs?
Oh, absolutely.
You could have, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, you were just in that zone.
Yeah.
And as you get more and more famous and your songs become more and more popular, doesn't that just inspire you more to write? And your confidence goes through the roof.
I'm telling you, like I said before, we were full of piss and vinegar.
I love the song Chicago so much. And this was written by you.
Yes.
And I didn't understand the origin of this song until I started to do some research. Chicago was a hotbed. It was 1968.
Yep.
The Chicago Democratic Convention was going on.
That's right.
The Vietnam War was in full swing.
Correct.
A lot of people felt if they went to the convention and protested Hubert Humphrey and all of these people, that it would change the world, that we could make a difference as young people.
And I still believe it.
Yeah. But the thing is, I didn't know who you were writing this for when you said, please come to Chicago.
Just to sing.
You were playing this to Stephen and Neil because they didn't want to go to Chicago.
No, it's not that they didn't want to go. They couldn't. They had prior arrangements. And Wavy Gravy, who made the initial call to me to say, won't you come to Chicago just to sing and raise money for their defense fund, it was very fast. David and I actually had the time off to be able to do it, but Stephen and Neil didn't. They wanted to go.
But isn't this song a plea to them to come to Chicago, to drop whatever commitments they had?
Exactly.
Because this was more important. This was a life-changing event?
Exactly.
You got to play it.
Let's treat. What time is this in the morning?
I know it's early, but come on. This is such a beautiful
It's
song.
11 p.m. at night.
Does a song like
thank
this,
you, Robin.
Did this song just come streaming out of you because you were so fired up about Chicago Convention?
Absolutely, as most songs do.
It's one of the great activist songs of all time.
Well, you can't bind and chain and gag a man and call it a fair trial, Howard.
Right.
No matter if he's guilty or innocent, you can't chain him to the bench and call it fair.
You're talking about the Chicago 7, right?
I am.
Okay, so you are a advocate of peace and love and also but an activist. Is that because of your father?
Yes, it is.
A terrible thing happened to your father with the justice system.
That's right. He bought a camera from a friend of his at work.
Right.
And his main joy was to go and shoot pictures of his children at the zoo, for instance.
Right.
And my father turned me on to photography way before I was a musician.
You are a photographer.
Yes, indeed.
Right. You take a lot of pictures. Your stuff's on in shows
That's
and
right.
things like that.
My camera's sitting right on your desk.
You
right
always
here.
have your camera with you.
On
What do you shoot? What kind of camera?
I have a Leica X2. It's a beautiful little small digital point and shoot, and it's fabulous. The lens is sharp as hell. I love this camera.
When you were
anyway, so my dad
Yeah, go ahead.
had bought this camera. The police come to the door, which was unheard of in England. Police at your door? Are you kidding me?
Right.
They wanted to know where he had bought the camera because it had been stolen.
Okay.
And he wouldn't tell them.
Because he wasn't a rat.
Yeah, you don't grass on your friends. You just don't. So anyway, consequently, he ended up...
Did your dad know it was a stolen camera that he bought?
He certainly did when the police came to the door.
Right.
And he went to jail for a year, and he broke his heart, and he died at 46.
Oh. Wow.
And you feel because he went to jail, he died young?
No doubt about it.
What did he die of technically? What was the autopsy?
Something wrong with his liver. About a couple of days before I went on tour with the Hollies to Europe, I went to see my dad. He was in hospital. I couldn't find him. And it's my father. I can't recognize him. And then I saw this orange person.
Wow.
And it was my dad. So obviously something was mightily wrong with his liver.
And you feel that he maybe picked something up in prison or
I just think that when your psyche is down, when you feel like a piece of shit, when you don't think that you're worth anything, everything starts to deteriorate.
Is that why Chicago is such an important song to you? Because you're like, hey, let's fight the injustice, let's fight the system.
Correct.
Because sometimes the system is going to break a man's spirit.
That's right, and it did in my father's case.
Did you I just remember that bands were so much more important when I was growing up because of that kind of stuff. You actually got your information. Your calling.
It's true. But don't forget that we're completely controlled by the media these days. You know it. You're king of media, right? You know that the people that own the world's media, you could probably count on two hands. They don't want protest songs on their airwaves.
No.
They want us to be sheep and lie down, buy another pair of sneakers and a soft drink and let me rob you.
Does that upset you?
Yes, it does.
Didn't you think when our generation came into power, it was going to be completely different, that things were really going to change and get different?
That's true, but we forgot about time.
What do you mean?
Well, the momentum...
How it changes you?
Yeah, no, not that. The momentum of the planet is so gigantic that to move even a microsecond takes an enormous amount of energy and time. We did think that we could change the world, but it just happened took longer than we thought it would.
Well, hey, a lot of people just sort of take on their parents' views and they kind of settle into middle age.
That's right, and they're content.
You know, you love the song Ohio, as long as we're talking about activist type music. You didn't write Ohio.
No,
Neil Young
Neil did.
But you love that song.
Well, I get a call from Crosby. I'm in Los Angeles. Neil and David are up in a place that I had in Pescadero in Northern California. It was a friend's house. Crosby called me. He goes, book the studio right now. Get the band together. Get Halverson, who was our engineer, Bill Halverson. I'm coming down tomorrow. I said, boy, you sound intense. What the hell's going on?
What's going on?
He said, wait until you hear this song. I said, what is it? He said, it's called Ohio, and Neil wrote it. I said, what happened? He said, I showed Neil a newspaper with you remember that famous John Philo picture of the girl leaning over the dead body?
You're talking about at Kent State.
At Kent State.
One of the students had been shot by a National Guardsman.
4 of them.
Yes.
We slaughtered our own children.
Yes.
Right, so here's the story. So he shows Neil this newspaper or this magazine, whatever it was. He said, I saw Neil walk off with his guitar into the woods, and he comes back an hour later with this song, right?
Wow.
We had Teach Your Children it was already in the top 20. It was going towards the top of the charts.
Right.
We put out Ohio immediately and killed our own single because we thought it was more important to talk about America killing its own children than having a hit record.
You're telling me that Neil Young goes off into the woods, an hour later comes out with a fully formed song.
Completely done, finished.
And Crosby thought the song was so important and so good. He said, "Come on, guys, let's get together, record this
immediately."
Even at
and put it out immediately.
Put it out immediately.
Ahmet Ertegun was in the studio. So we cut Ohio. It took us about an hour and a half.
The whole song was cut in an hour and a half.
Oh, yeah. It's a very simple song.
No one does that anymore.
Well, you know.
When Neil goes in the woods and writes that, just from a technical standpoint, how does he come out and present that to you?
Just like that.
He played that for you on a guitar.
On an acoustic guitar, and he said, "What are we going to do with it?"
You don't write this down, the music. In other words, he just keeps it in his head.
None of us write music. None of us read music.
Right. So so he just goes off and he comes out with that riff, ding. You know that riff.
Isn't that a Neil Young riff?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And when you go in the studio and record it in an hour and a half, because it's a band. Does Neil make the decision about how it's going to be recorded since he wrote it, or is it a democratic process?
It's a slightly democratic process, but he actually leaned on Stephen a lot. Because they're the real rock and roll heart of CSNY, let's get real.
Right.
I mean, Crosby's a little jazz influence, you know, me, and I have no idea what my influence is, but it was mainly Stephen and Neil who made that great rock and roll track.
I see. So when you get in the studio, you defer to those two, and you say, okay, guys, what are we doing? And if you make a suggestion, and does someone ever say, that's just a stupid suggestion, don't do that, because that would crush your spirit also, right?
Yeah, and we're very tender with each other, because we're brothers.
Yeah,
and no matter what we have done, you know, how much backstabbing and how much shit that we've given each other, you know, we really love each other, and we really realize that the most important part of what we do is the music.
Why do you think you never married Joni Mitchell? You were so madly in love with her. You met her at the time when you were in the Hollies, before Crosby, Stills and Nash, right?
Correct.
And she was a beauty, and what a talent. I mean, she had it all.
Yes, she did. And still does, of course.
How long were you with her?
2 years.
2 years. Was it a great love affair?
It was a great love affair. You know, I'm a little hesitant to say it, but she was at that time absolutely the love of my life.
So why didn't you marry her and create a life with her?
I had just gotten divorced from my first wife.
I see.
And it was a bitter feeling for me, and I didn't know whether I was.
Why were you bitter?
Because of my love had failed with my first wife.
It was a great defeat.
I was defeated. You know, I had to give up. I don't give up.
Yes, but you must have got married very young. I mean,
I did get married young.
Yeah,
and it was one of those things. And Joni and I talked about getting married. And I told her that I would have been with her for the rest of my life.
But she kept harping on the marriage thing.
She didn't keep harping on it, but we did talk about it.
And that scared you off.
Yes. What was that, Robin?
She wanted marriage.
We talked about getting married. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, people used to say that when you and Joni, walked into a room, the place would light up. I mean, we were totally in love with each other.
So when you broke up with her, it was because she was looking for marriage, and you weren't willing to commit at that point. You
not
just got mad.
Not
right.
quite.
No.
She had a grandmother, Sadie Jane McKee, I think her name was, who wanted to go on stage and was stopped by her husband from going on stage. You're supposed to be a wife, cook my dinner, take care of the kids, and get on with it. And Joni felt that maybe I wanted her to give up her career and be my wife. Oh. The furthest thing from my mind. How the hell can you be with Joni Mitchell and say, stop playing?
That's so sexy that she can play and do that, yeah.
And what a beautiful woman she is. You know.
Was there ever any thought of letting her be Crosby, Stills and Nash, or ever bringing a woman into the mix?
Yeah, that's funny. That would have been interesting. No, there was never any. But, you know, Joni was always one of the lads. You know, she can take a car apart and put it back together, you know.
Wait, are you still friends with her?
Absolutely.
Oh, you are?
Yes.
So it was amicable when you broke up?
I think that I'm probably one of the only men in her life that she really likes still.
Isn't it peculiar how, like, David Crosby is a true hippie. When it came to women, David Crosby would share a woman with you. Like, he didn't get possessive at all. Like,
Not at all.
He'd say to you, Graham, this girl is terrific. You should know her as well.
He did exactly that with John.
Is that a mental... Don't you think that's a little bit Because he had already slept with Joni.
Yes.
And then he said, "Hey, come meet Joni."
Yes.
And he did that. And then there was another love of his life, a tragedy. He met a girl,
Christine, yes.
and she died in a car crash.
Yeah, she rolled us a couple of joints by the pool. Said, "Here, enjoy, smoke these." We never saw her again. She was taking the cats to the vet in Novato in Northern California.
Right.
One of the cats jumped into a lap and scratched her. She reached down to take the cat off her lap, veered into a school bus and was killed instantly.
And by the way, they do say with your animals, you shouldn't let them run in the car free. That's
Not
something
cats,
we've learned.
yeah.
They can be dangerous.
Put them in a cage.
But he even that was the love of his life, and he shared her with you, right?
Yes.
Isn't that? Don't you think?
And you would
that's
just
really...
take these girls?
Well, why not?
Well, you know what, Robin? A beautiful woman is a beautiful woman.
But didn't that ruin the relationship?
Not at all.
It didn't. David wouldn't say to you, "Shit, you fucked my girlfriend."
No, it was not at all. He's not that possessive.
But I'm so possessive. I could never share a woman.
Yeah, but you're not David Crosby, Howard.
Could you share one?
Graham, did you ever share?
No, but he gave him chocolates. Did you share as well? Was that your thing too?
No, that wasn't my thing. No,
I can't tell if that's a healthy thing or if that's kind of like a mental illness type thing.
Maybe it's both.
But I was also shocked to read that this girl that we talk about who died,
yes, Christine,
he met her when she was 14. Did you ever say to him, "You could go to jail for that"?
No, because he wasn't sleeping with her when she was 14.
Oh, he wasn't.
She ran his fan club.
Oh, I see.
It was only until she became older that he got together.
How old did he wait till?
15.
I actually don't know the answer to that, Robin. I don't.
The song "Teach Your Children," which is a song you wrote, which is one of my favorite songs. You saw a photograph by Diane Arbus, who is a great photographer.
Yeah.
One of my favorites. And it was the image of a boy in Central Park. Was he holding a gun or something?
No, he's holding a hand grenade.
A hand grenade?
Yeah, a plastic hand grenade. Here's the story, right? When I sold my photograph collection at Sotheby's in the late 80s,
right,
early 90s.
What do you mean you sold your photograph collection?
I had an incredible collection of classic, great photographs.
The original photographs?
Oh, yes, that I'd collected for many, many, many years. But then I saw the digital revolution coming.
Yeah.
And I saw it, and I knew that I would have to either get on this train or get run over.
Right.
So I sold my photographs to raise a couple of $1 million to go into this new venture. A show of my collection had a Diane Arbus photograph of the boy in Central Park with a hand grenade next to a portrait of Krupp, who was the German arms magnate, right? And I looked at these two images with this young kid with a plastic hand grenade as grimacing and would, willingly blown up the world, next to the portrait of the man that did blow up the world.
Right.
And I began to realize that if we don't teach our children a better way of dealing with our fellow human beings, we're fucked.
So is that what went in your head? We have to teach our children well?
That's right.
That's it. That's how the song developed. You had the phrase, teach our children well.
That's
Just
right.
give me a little verse and chorus of teach your children well. And how long did it take you to write this song? Was this one of these that just pour out of you?
No, this was,
you had to work at
2 or
this.
3 hours, because I began to realize that it was a two-way street. That not only do we have to teach our children well, but we have to learn from our children also.
Give me like that becomes a hit. Like it just came right out of your head like that.
I'm telling you this, though. When I first did it, it sounded like Henry VIII, right?
Right.
Stephen heard the song. He said, "Don't ever play it like that again."
But you say when you originally wrote that song, it was eerie and slow.
Yes, and very English, and you who are on the road. It's like very English, right?
And Stephen was the one who said, make it a country song.
Not only that, but he turned it into the hit that it became.
Don't put that guitar down yet. I got to ask you about a bunch of other ones.
Okay.
When you wrote Our House, I love this story. You were living with Joni Mitchell, and
we went to breakfast at Art's Deli on Ventura. You probably know it.
I don't even know how to get out of my house.
Yeah.
Go ahead, yes.
Well, so we'd finished breakfast and we were walking back to her car and we passed an antique store. And she saw a vase in the window that she really liked. And Joni, hardly spends $1 on herself. I persuaded her to buy it. And it was one of those grey, drizzly mornings in Los Angeles. We got back to the house and I said, "Hey, I'm going to light a fire. Why don't you put some flowers in that new..." All of a sudden, I'm off and running.
Is that what happens? As you're saying it, you realize it's a poem.
I realize it's such an incredibly ordinary moment that millions of men may have gone through.
I'll light the fire.
Yeah, you make the dinner, dear. I'll light the fire. Right?
So the words came first. So in other
that
words,
first line came first.
And then where does the tune come from?
You know,
do you rush off and say, I got to write that right now?
No, it just came all together. It only took me about an hour and a half to write Our House.
Let me hear a little bit, just a little.
Well, it's a piano song, but
go ahead, a little bit on the guitar.
I'll light the fire. Yeah, I don't even know the chords in it. You place the flowers in the vase that you bought today. I mean, it's a very simple song.
You were really recounting what just had happened in town.
What had just happened, what I just said to Joan.
Why do you play Blackbird in concerts so much? Is that just a beautiful song to you?
Oh, what an incredible song.
It's a song, really, that the Beatles wrote about black people. They were saying, he was
in the
saying
civil rights movement.
Civil rights movement. Time for you to rise up, spread your wings and fly.
That's right, because, you know, in England, as you well know, a woman is usually not called a chick, but called a bird. Right.
Yeah.
Bird, and so they were, you know, it was a civil rights movement.
Who wrote it? McCartney wrote it?
It's a pure McCartney song.
Right, and when he wrote it, what he was trying to say is, was he singing it to a black chick or just to
I believe
everyone?
so.
Yeah.
I believe so. You know, to rise up, take your wings. Come on, let's go. Let's rock. This is the 20th century.
And so when you guys are in concert, a lot of times you'll do Blackbird. You
That's
just
right.
love it.
Very much. I did it night before last, as a matter of fact.
I told you one of my favorite songs that you wrote was Right Between the Eyes because it makes me think of my grandfather.
Why?
Because I told you this years ago. Right Between the Eyes was a thing my grandfather, he used to talk about looking a man right between the eyes.
How interesting.
That was his thing. And when I heard that song, it always brings me to tears. And you actually played it in my studio. You don't remember, but I do. We play it all the time. It's so great. And but you wrote that about, you're going to make me cry.
Go for it.
You just want to see me cry.
My head is hanging heavy with the thoughts of him in mind. It's sacrilege for us to take advantage of the blind. So tell before you come to me from out of yonder skies. A man's a man who looks a man right between the eyes.
Love that. I'm going to go to bed with you.
Oh, my.
That was
now
about a
it
woman.
finally comes out.
But
Howard Stern, gay.
that was a woman. Yeah, come on, let's get crazy. Well, that was about a woman. You were seeing.
When a man writes like that, you have to sleep with him.
Were you sleeping with a woman who was a friend,
Yes.
friend's wife?
Yes.
And that was your confessional song?
Yes.
Because, in other words, you were saying, I want to look you between the eyes and confess.
And tell you what happened. Yeah, they had a breakup in their relationship, and there was like this month-long gap. And I loved this woman. She was a stunning beauty, a white Russian lady, and you know, I had a very short, very satisfying affair with her. But I felt a little guilty, you know, because she was still with John, and that was my confessional song. Yes.
I wish I could look you
Did he
right
get
between
it?
the eyes. Did you actually tell your friend? Did you confess to him?
I never did.
You never did. It's just a song fantasizing about if you could have.
That's right.
You're sad telling that story.
Yeah, I am sad.
Oh, you're ashamed of it?
No, I just didn't. I don't want to bring pain to anybody.
Right.
Because don't forget I wrote, and the pain that we could bring to him, I don't think he could beat. Please don't ask me how I know. I've just been up that street, and all the people living there have been silenced by their own lies. A man's a man who looks a man right between the eyes.
So what you're saying there is, I didn't
have the balls to tell him.
Because you know that kind of pain, someone had done that to you?
That's right.
Wow. Who did that to you?
You know, several ladies.
They ran off with a guy that...
Sure.
Yeah.
Hasn't
I think every guy
happened to you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm thinking of someone in particular who did that. Who was like banging my
Really?
friend, and she thought, she goes, oh, I didn't know I was your girlfriend. I go, I thought you were. I didn't realize.
Don't we all go through madness with these women? I mean, that's why I got into rock and roll in the first place. I wanted to get laid, you know.
And laid you did, my
I'm
friend.
afraid I did.
Yes, you did. What's going on now? You're married, right?
I've been married to Susan for 37 years.
How's that going?
Phenomenal.
Haven't shared it with anybody?
Nope.
You say in the book that you did not want Neil Young in the band originally. Why?
We had just created this incredible album with 3-part harmony, right?
Yeah.
Why would we need a 4th harmony?
Right.
I didn't, and why would we invite someone to play in our band whom I'd never met?
Who pushed so hard? Ahmet for that?
Ahmet.
And his word goes? I mean...
Yes. Ahmet Erdogan was a very smart man.
But did Stephen at first fight it too?
He fought it. Yeah. What? You want me to go back there again? I just did 2 years with this madman. You want me to go back?
But you couldn't force the Beatles to take on a member that they didn't want. Crosby, Stills and Nash was a very successful band.
That's right.
You could not force 3 guys to take on a 4th.
But listen to the stuff that Neil had been writing.
You're not going to get
Expecting to Fly, Clancy, all those.
You're not going to get an argument from me. I just can't figure out how they forced that all on you.
They didn't force it on us. They suggested it. Nobody tells us what to do. Nobody.
It's pretty amazing, too, when you go into how drugs almost like really destroyed Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young.
They nearly destroyed Crosby, which nearly destroyed Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, yes.
Do you think if something had happened to him, that would have been the end? You and Stephen would
I would have lost complete heart.
Yeah.
Crosby's my brother. I love him.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing music, amazing career.
Thanks, kid.
And what did you do when you saw him going downhill? What do you do?
I felt pretty guilty, actually, Robin. I'll tell you why. Because one of the joys of Crosby's life was the making of music. And I knew that. And so I kept emphasizing and encouraging that side of him. However, the more music you make, especially in those days, the more money you made, the better drugs you could afford. So I was torn totally between keeping my friend's spirit alive and chancing the fact that he would die.
Yeah, it's a tough one. You know, you write about in the book, too, when you first saw Jimi Hendrix. Like, you were at a club with a bunch of heavyweights. It was you guys. Who else was there?
John and Paul were there. Brian Jones was there.
Brian Jones of the Stones.
But I didn't. That's not the first time I saw Jimmy. The first time I saw Jimmy was 1965 at the Soupy Sales Easter show at the Paramount Theater in New York Square.
You are kidding me.
Right?
Wow.
That's crazy.
Wait, listen to this. Little Richard is the star of the bill, and we watched him. I mean, he was kick-ass. I mean, Little Richard is phenomenal, right?
Great entertainer.
One day, after the show, he comes out, he is screaming, "You motherfucker, don't you ever play guitar with your teeth again, you mother..." And it was Jimmy.
Great advice. Don't you use those teeth, young man. But then when you were in England, I guess, and all these guys, McCartney's there and Lennon and all that, all these guys who you know, you're all there to what? You had heard about him?
Oh, yeah. His reputation. You know, Eric Clapton and particularly Pete Townsend had been spreading the word about this new kid from America and that you better come and watch this kid because this is something special.
It was almost like going to school, right?
Yes. For guitar players, yeah.
Clapton said that night was it was almost detrimental to him. He felt like he wanted to put down his guitar after he saw Jimi Hendrix.
Well, thank God he didn't.
No, of course not. But it was that mind-blowing.
He was that mind-blowing.
Why was it so mind-blowing?
Because there was an incredible energy. And there was only 3 of them in the experience. It was only Mitch Mitchell on drums and Noel Redding on bass.
Were Mitch and Noel good musicians?
Mitch was an incredible drummer. I don't think that Noel had played bass before he joined the experience.
That's what I've always heard.
Yeah.
Wow. And on the albums, Jimmy played all the instruments. That's what I've heard.
I still think that Noel played bass and Mitch very much played drums because Mitch Mitchell came to live with me in my apartment. He was, you know, he didn't, you know, they were just catching fire and he didn't have any place to live. So I come over and live with me. So then I was able to hang out with Mitch and hang out with Jimmy. And let me tell you something. Nobody in the world could beat Jimi Hendrix at Risk. You know the board game Risk?
Yeah, Risk, yeah.
He'd play Risk on acid. You never stood a chance.
What a life you've had. No wonder you had to write a book. No, you really have. The book's great, and it does capture a lot of this, but it's almost mind-blowing to think of you guys, all these superstars, sitting in an audience watching Jimi Hendrix. When John Lennon is removed from the earth by this monster, where are you when you hear that word?
I was watching Miami. I think I was watching a football game. I was at Susan's house. And then Howard Cosell came on and said, we just got this news flash that John Lennon had been shot. And by the end of the half, he was dead.
How well did you know him? I mean, it sounds like you knew all these guys.
I met John November the 19th in 1959.
1959. And where's this?
Do you know those kind of shows where a local promoter gets a bunch of local talent and then at the end they put their hand above it, and if the audience claps better for you, then you win?
Yes.
Check
like
this.
a talent show.
Yeah, exactly. Check this out.
Like America's Got Talent, yeah.
Me and Alan Clark, who later formed the Hollies, were on that bill. We won. We did a Conway Twitty song called It's Only Make Believe. There was a guy called Freddie Garrity who became Freddie and the Dreamers.
Right.
A man called Ron Wycherley who became Billy Fury. And Johnny and the Moondogs from Liverpool.
And that was John Lennon's band.
That was
They
John
did
Lennon.
Think It Over by Buddy Holly.
And you beat him.
I'm afraid we did.
You did. Oh my God, that's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Were you
You
shocked
see
when
why I call him the Zelig of music?
Were you shocked?
Everywhere.
Were you shocked when you? Yeah, by the way, how do you know where to go to be part of this whole scene? You know,
You just played music. I mean, after World War II, there was nothing the 15-year-old kids had to do. You kick a ball around and you think it's good. And
you
then
seem so brave, though. Were you nervous at 15 to get up on a stage?
I've never been nervous.
Never.
Never.
And when you got up, you always had confidence.
No, that's what I wanted to do. Why would I be nervous? That was Stephen that said he was scared shitless at Woodstock. It wasn't me.
When did you first know you wanted to be a musical?
Since I was 13 years old.
And what did you see that made you think of that?
Skiffle, Lonnie Donegan, early American rock and roll. I wanted it. I wanted it.
Were you considered a prodigy musically? I mean, did
not
anyone...
at all, and I'm still not a great musician. But I can play guitar to write songs and play piano, but I'm not a great musician.
You're a great songwriter, wouldn't you think?
I don't know if I'm a great songwriter, but
You're in the Songwriters Hall of Fame.
Yeah, but what does that mean, Robin? You know, it's like...
It means something to me. I don't know.
No, it means something
Other
to me, too. It's
songwriters
very
think
important.
you're
but
good, yeah.
I know, but I can't think that way about myself.
So go back. You hear Howard Cosell say that you're a friend. I mean, a guy you knew on the scene,
Yeah.
John Lennon has been shot.
And then the news later, a half hour later, that he had been killed. You know, and the thing that about that really upsets me, and it was I felt the same when George passed away, was how many incredible songs were in their minds that we'll never hear.
That's what kills me.
Kills me.
To this day, I think, oh my, what would John Lennon have done if he? I mean, the guy was such an interesting
What
guy.
would Buddy Holly have done with today's technology?
Right.
What would Jimmy do with today's technology?
I often ask Robin that too. I always have this thought, like, if Jimi Hendrix had lived, would he have burned out, or would he be like Sly and the Family Stone, living somewhere where you can't even find him, or would he have been still like one of the great rock acts?
I tend to believe that he would still have been one of the great rock acts because he was so ahead of his time.
But he wasn't doing any more drugs than anyone else. He just got a bad, or maybe he was. Was he doing way too much, like even compared to you guys?
Jimmy's main love was acid.
Acid.
Yeah.
And yet that's not what he OD'd from.
No, he didn't. And who knows what actually happened?
You trip with him a lot?
Several times.
At your place?
Mainly at his place. One day we went to see Frank Zappa and the Mothers of Invention at the Royal Albert Hall. Yeah. And Jimmy and I were sitting there together. And we see Brian Jones up in one of the boxes. And so during the intermission, we go, hey, let's go see if Brian's got anything.
And Brian did.
And so we stood up to go over to the box, and a spotlight hit us. And I'm paralyzed. I'm on acid with Jimi Hendrix, and the spotlight is shining in our face. Yeah. Man, it's been a wild life, Howard.
What about Brian Jones? Do you think that he was murdered?
I believe so.
You do? Mm-hmm. Brian Jones, I'm talking, of course, of the Rolling Stones, for anyone who doesn't know. He was a guitar player of the band.
It was Brian's band.
Right, I know.
It was Brian's band. He got everybody into the blues and Muddy Waters.
It seems like something dark was going on there.
Yeah, when the Hollies played a tour with the Rolling Stones, Brian and Mick and Keith were not talking to each other, and Brian came and drove with me and Tony Hicks for the entire tour. He was not a happy boy. He had seen something that he thought that was pure blues and saw it being turned into some kind of spectacle, and he didn't like that. He was a sad boy at the end.
Yeah, but you don't have any clue who might have hurt him or...
Well, the rumors are it was one of the people that were working on his house that got pissed off because he either didn't pay him enough or he upset him or insulted him or something. But, the heavy rumor around the industry is that he was drowned in his pool.
Right, yeah. Yeah, man, that's so sad.
Yes.
A lot of
But you're saying he didn't like the way the Stones were going?
Yeah, I think, Brian was a purist. He just wanted it to be a blues band, not a shaking your ass, let's get the women band.
Yeah, 27 years old. You forget how young that guy was.
That's right, but Jim Morrison, same.
Yeah.
Dwayne Allman.
Did you know Jim?
You know what? I did not know Jim. I met him twice. And the last time that I saw him, he bought my television.
No kidding. What'd you charge him?
I was I know exactly, $300.
You have an incredible memory for this stuff. You can even mention the year that you saw Jimi Hendrix and all that.
Yes.
I don't have that kind of...
Sure you do. It's all in there, Howard. You just don't choose to remember.
Is it hard writing a book and pulling out all those facts?
It was fun.
It was?
Yeah, but the one thing that I'm really pleased about it, I can get on with the rest of my life now.
Right, yeah, you got it all out.
You dumped it all out.
It's like taking a massive dump, that's it. Well, you are unbelievable. You are unbelievable.
Well,
I love you.
Thank you.
And I
you've
love
had
your
an
music.
Unbelievable life.
And I want to thank you for all of the great listening. I mean, just this past weekend, I had your music out and was just enjoying it. And it really, what an accomplishment in your life.
Thank you, Howard.
I'm proud to say I know you. The great Graham Nash has written a book.
What does he think of music today?
He loves it. Well, it's not the same, right?
It's not the same.
It doesn't have the importance that it used to.
Well, it's not that. It's just that it's taken on a different form. It's now how good you can dance and how far you can stick your tongue out.
Graham Nash's new book, Wild Tales. Hey, by the way, Crosby, Stills, and Nash, did they ever consider like a name for the band instead of just Crosby? It was always Crosby, Stills, and Nash?
Always.
Right.
Doesn't that flow off the tongue better than Nash, Stills, Crosby? Yeah.
How did they come up with the order?
I did.
You did?
Yeah, because it rolls off the tongue better. Crosby, Stills, and Nash is like one thing, right?
And maybe that's why you were against, it was all of a sudden Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young.
Yeah, it sounded like a law firm then, right?
Yeah. How many more guys can we add to this thing? Graham Nash's new book, Wild Tales, is in store now, and it's a great book. You got to pick it up. For more information, you go to grahamnash.com, and Graham Nash informs us that he's working on a project where he's not exactly happy with Four-Way Street as a live album, so now he is going to rectify that situation, and he is mastering a brand new live album from Crosby, Stills, and Nash.
From our tour of 1974 with the average audience of 70,000.
And that was a Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young?
Correct.
Oh, well, send me a copy immediately.
You know something, Howard? You're going to call me after I send it to you, and you're going to go, this is stunning.
I would call you, but you won't give me your number.
I'll give it to you right now.
Well, that might be a mistake.
Robin has it.
I might have. Oh, I know. I think she was living with you and Joni Mitchell.
Oh, God.
That's right. And by the way, a fuck you to Art Garfunkel for turning you down. I want to say that right now. Paul Simon, all you guys.
He's kicking himself.
That's right.
Kicking himself.
Yeah, think of all the money he would have had if he had just signed you guys.
Yeah.
Who the hell knows who he signed? All right, listen. Enough of your yentering and reminiscing. Thank you for being here. The great Graham Nash. Everybody.
We've been friends for a long time, Howard, and I have great respect for you.
Well, thank you very much, and I love you. And we will be back right after these words.
Mr. Nash, at one point you guys were discussing, the musical revolution that you're a part of, and how that can exist today because of the way media manipulates.
That's true.
The industry. Why is Howard important to sort of?
Because he speaks his mind, and he speaks truth to power. And he gets upset when things are unfair, and he gets upset when he sees half the stuff that's going on. He gets upset when he sees us being lied into wars. He's a very, very bright man, and he speaks his mind, and you've got to applaud that.
You need someone to keep, the anti-revolution in check.
The flame has got to keep burning, and it's people like Howard and my friends who write songs about, the important stuff that's going on today. It's important to have a voice like that, and Howard Stern has an incredible voice and uses it brilliantly.
Do you think there are any current bands today who reflect that voice and are keeping the flame burning as well?
Yeah, I think so. I think people like the Fleet Foxes and the people like this, particularly Jason Mraz. Jason and I are working on an incredible project right now from our friend Spencer Proffer. It's an acoustic album of Jimi Hendrix music. And Jason Mraz has done a version of Angel, Jimmy's song Angel. Stunning. Me and Crosby harmonized with it. It's stunning. Wait until you hear it.
So as long as artists like that still exist,
the flame is alive, and we feel that we're doing our job. We're really troubadours going from town to town, telling everyone, hey, you know what? The emperor really doesn't have any clothes on. I mean, that's all we are. We're just troubadours.
Well, thank you so much for stopping by today, and good luck with your new book.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Right. So Don John is a new movie. You saw it, I understand?
Yes. Yeah, I like
so
it.
he wrote, directed, stars, he did the whole thing. Wolfie had mentioned that it looked like he was going to be the next Batman.
Yeah.
Dark Knight, and then that just didn't happen. You know, Ben Affleck got the role. So
why did he feel he looked like he was going to be the next Batman?
Because at the end of the movie, he discovers the Batcave, and it just assumed.
Who was he in Batman? I forget.
He was. Do you know who was he in Batman?
He played
a detective, right?
Yeah,
or something?
a cop that was working with Gordon, and at the end, it pretty much intimated that he was going to be the next one.
Right.
Because the detective discovered Batman's cave?
He got into the Batcave, he looked around.
But Batman was still alive, so why would he be the next Batman?
Well, people thought it was going to be maybe Robin.
Oh.
He's like he's on fire right now in terms of he's got good roles and everything. Like, why go out on your own and do why make your own movie and take that chance when you could just take great roles?
Okay. All right, Joseph Gordon-Levitt's here. He's our next guest. Look at this.
What is this, The Tonight Show?
Yeah, huh? Hey, let me ask you a question. The new movie, Don John, he directs it, he wrote it. He's been working on it for like 1 million years.
You know, this is a young man who was a child actor and has really progressed.
Thanks very much.
Yeah. Hey, man, good to meet you.
Pleasure's mine. Pleasure's mine.
Enjoying your movies and stuff. You know, the question always is, I would say your career... Hey, good to see you.
Pleasure, man. Thanks for having me.
I would say your career is on fire. You're doing really well.
Thanks.
You know what I mean? You've been in a lot of good movies.
Thank you.
Were your agents upset with you, or whoever talks to you about your career?
Yeah.
Were they upset that you decided to direct and write and star in your own movie? In other words, I'm sure you get offered a lot of cool roles.
Yeah, I mean, and if you were just looking at it like from a money perspective, it's not necessarily the most go-to surefire way to maximize profit.
That's the thing. So did anyone sit you down and say, look, you've got a bunch of movies, you can only do so many a year. Listen, son, enough with the directing and writing. I love the movie,
Do
by the way.
that when things
Thanks,
slow
man.
down.
You liked it. That means a lot to me.
Great. Well, first of all, it's like an R-rated movie that... You don't see that anymore. All you see is like these big sort of superhero movies.
Sure.
And what I liked about it is you're dealing with an adult topic.
Yeah.
Every guy I know jerks off way too much.
Every guy?
This would be your movie.
Yeah. I mean, you just shook my hand. I'm pretty sure I just finished jerking off. I got to tell you, it really deals with a topic that I couldn't take my eyes off the screen.
Thanks,
I love the movie.
Thank you. You're right. And when it's rated R, you get to talk like people actually talk. You don't have to restrict yourself.
And I think women will like this movie because it lets it out of the bag that this is how guys watch pornography.
Sure.
And that we'd rather jerk off sometimes than be with a woman because it's less aggravation. And then there's kind of a love story there where you kind of come to a full realization type thing,
Yeah, and it also shows both sides because the character that Scarlett plays, her character, she's
hot, man.
She's very hot, and but she watches just as many romantic comedies as my character watches pornography. So it does kind of tell it from both sides, which is, I think, why... Yeah, both men and women have been really digging it.
Did you have to cut a lot of this stuff out because they want to give you an X rating on this movie?
I didn't cut anything out. No time, no lines, no beats.
Really?
I did change. So there's a few montages in the movie just to explain. You've seen it, but for people who haven't seen
There's a lot of hardcore,
It's sampled from real pornography clips, but it's very carefully edited and cropped, and it's, it fits into a rated R movie. I always wanted it to be a rated R movie.
I love it because when I made my film, I made it rated R because I wanted to make an
Private
adult
parts.
Movie. I wanted to make an adult movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And deal with some adult themes.
Well, when I first started thinking of the movie as this kind of comedy, I was in the middle of shooting 50-50. I don't know if you've seen that movie. I was in.
Yes,
and that's the Seth Rogen and that whole gang of guys. They make rated R comedies.
That's right.
And they improvise a lot, and they can talk how they talk in real life.
Yeah.
Because if look. And you can say this on the radio now, right? Fucking shit and whatnot.
Yeah,
when I was growing up, you couldn't say that on the radio on your show.
No. Not only had to make up weird
No, because that
words.
was real radio. This is satellite.
Like bullshit,
Right. But was it bleeping, or you just couldn't say the stuff?
You just couldn't say it.
Yeah, you would just avoid it.
You'd find creative ways of trying to talk like a normal person, you know?
Right.
But even that I'm here now, I don't want to just use profanity for the sake of it. But if it works in, then great. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if it's just an emphasis, an accentuation, maybe.
When I watched the movie, I said, "Oh, Tony Danza, interesting choice for the guy to play your father."
Isn't he awesome in it?
I thought he was great and funny, but I didn't realize when you were a kid actor,
you
worked with Tony Danza.
It was our 20-year reunion. in Angels in the Outfield in 1993, and I was 12.
So I think it was the guy who was in Batman with you, Christopher. What's his name? I can't think of the guy's name.
Who, Christian Bale?
Christian Bale. Did he tell you not to direct your own movie and write a movie? Didn't somebody advise you?
Oh, yes. That's something that went around on the internet. That's not really true. But what they're talking about is Christopher Nolan, who directed.
Oh, Christopher Nolan.
Yeah,
right,
the Dark Knight trilogy and Inception, and he was really supportive. I was working on The Dark Knight Rises when I finished the draft of the script, and I told him I think I want to direct something. And what he started doing was asking me questions, and he did ask me, like, are you sure you want to act and direct at the same time? He also asked me, you know, what kind of budget do you think you're going to try to do? Are you going to get a big studio to try to pay for?
What was your budget? Was that a big budget? That's not a big budget film, is it?
No, it was a very low budget movie. It had like about half the budget of 500 Days of Summer, which has
something like that. Like, please let me know. It's definitely a favorite of mine. Okay, this Moon Knight. Here we go. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That gives me an idea art-wise, but I'm not saying what. Interesting. I do. So, you're just gonna have to wait and see. Interesting. Are you sure I have to wait? No, I do like surprises, so that's okay. I will wait. Not to worry. This Moon Knight. No.
I'm doing great.
Get out of here. Oh my gosh. No! No!
They're just throwing one ult after another.
They are.
I was on the point.
Oh! Alright, got him. Nice. Oh, goodness. Oh, he was almost dead too. Ah! He's trying to eat me! Oh my gosh. Interstellar is one of my top movies. Yes, of all time. Yes, it is my. It's actually my favorite. It is my favorite for sure. The science and the emotion. Yes, it really makes you think about even. Okay, if anyone wants to watch Interstellar and is in the chat, please leave now. You have been warned. This is a disclaimer. We will be talking about Interstellar. All right. You have 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Interstellar, I think, is one of my favorites, mainly because it really makes you think about space-time and how things aren't always what they seem. And of course, like, there are elements of just, you know, like, understanding science, how we know it now, versus how things might change. And even Christopher Nolan, you're trying to get me, but you can't, so you better back it up. He actually wanted to make sure that there was accurate theories, like scientific theories, that were a part of the movie. So it's not like all of these scientific theories that they had in the movie isn't something that's not, like, completely nonsense, like, just out of the blue.
We have to regroup.
Okay. But I'm telling you right now, I cried when he was in that, like, 5th dimension, and had like several encounters with Murph, And even himself, when he was on the spaceship, because, you know, it's like, oh, this is... Clearly, what we're seeing here is these aliens, or these beings that are trying to interact with us. They're trying to connect with us. They might not be able to speak, but, you know, they're still trying to reach us. But not knowing that it was him all along. Like, I was completely thrown away. Or taken aback. I mean, that's just one thing. I really want to, now that she said it, I want to go back and watch it again, because it's been a minute since I watched it.
They had an Iron Man.
Yeah, fun fact, in case you didn't know, the black hole is the visual for mathematical models. Oh, yes! Yes, I did! Oh my gosh, yeah, that's awesome. And I've never been the best at math. But
Iron Man
seeing
cringe.
Oh, I'm about to die too.
We're gonna have to get a regroup.
Seeing that come to life in a movie, something that's like so complex and something that we just like don't quite understand, still being able to be like visualized in a movie based off of these models that we have found, like I think that's so cool. It really is. Oh no, Tina's okay. I might be gone here.
Iron Man dead.
I don't know, but it really makes me think about life. Kind of like the
They get me. I had to try and poke for us, though.
Oh, I wasn't able to get there in time.
Well, you can't expect it from them all.
Nice try.
GG's.
I think that's gonna be it for me.
Some good games, though.
That was good. But yeah, Interstellar just makes me think about life, how things work, and all that God has created, and how I know we kind of talked about it when you were here last time. How there is that possibility beyond what we understand and what we know. GG, same here. Thank you for playing. Another great movie. Have you seen The Martian? I have not, but I actually have the book. So I was gonna read the book first. So you highly recommend that one? I'm gonna have to. I'm going to have to make sure to.
Y'all be blessed.
You too. Have a great night. God bless. NTF. Alright, NTF, you choose. Where are we raiding? Where are we raiding? Salutations! Hello, hello! Welcome in. How'd you find this stream? How are you doing? And thank you for the raid, by the way. I have to shout out NTF here. Thank you for the raid, NTF. If you are not following NTF, an amazing Christian streamer as well, playing some Marvel Rivals. You can find him there. Thank you for the follow!
I'm NTF.
Oh my gosh, we reached our follower goal of 270. Let's go. Thanks, you guys. I'm gonna see. One thing about it, though, is that I'll just do this. In some sci-fi, all these things we discover in space all point to God. Amen. Amen, J-Love. Exactly. I highly recommend it. Okay, I will definitely have to get there. Oh, were you the Hulk? Oh, I see. GG's. For sure.
GG's.
Tell me your Hulk ways, please. I've been trying to main Hulk too. And I really enjoy playing Groot, but I want to get better at some of the other tanks too. Had to get you back from the other day. Oh, okay. As far as I can see, the last great sci-fi movies are Interstellar and Martian. I wonder if I want more sci-fi movies. I want more sci-fi movies. Or like futuristic dystopian movies. I don't know if that's too soon though. I feel like we're kind of progressing into a path where some of these things are actually possible. Like for instance, Black Mirror. When COVID happened, the creator for Black Mirror was like, I think we're gonna hold off on some of these seasons because it's like we're living in a dystopian future as we speak, which is kind of like, it's a really sensitive topic, but I still think it kind of keeps it in mind, keeps it front of mind about like how things are progressing, and if we don't like it, if we don't like where we're going, then how can we change that? There's been more, but I have very high standards for, realistic sci-fi movies. Yeah, completely. I'm gonna have to read The Martian. I'm gonna look into that. But GG's Wild Hair. That is going to be it. Where are we rating NTF?
Here, I got it in my notes. It says, wherever you want.
Oh, how wonderful. All right, let's see. And with that, we're going to be rating wherever I want.
No spaces, no caps.
Okay. I'll keep that in mind. Okay. Let's see. Who to raid? And Tornado, I'm telling you right now, if you ever come across like any sci-fi related things, whether it's books, TV shows, movies, please let me know, because I like that stuff.
Interstellar and The Martian are some amazing movies. So.
Have you seen The Martian? You have. Nice. I have not. No.
It's great.
I'm gonna have to get on that pronto. Okay, we are gonna raid Stephanie. I want to see. I wonder if she's already done the makeup part of the stream. She probably has, but I still want to go and see. Let's go ahead and go over to Stephanie. She is streaming. She's just chatting right now, but she is going to have a baby very soon. She just recently had her baby shower over the weekend, and I know that was a lot of fun. So we're gonna go ahead and raid her, show her some love and support, and for those who are subscribed, that first subscribe message you can use, and for those who are following, you can use that second raider message in the chat there. Before we head over there, let's go ahead and... Hey, Saint! What's good? It's good to see ya.
What up, Saint?
Can't believe we reached 270 follower goal completed. Wild Hair, thank you for the follow. NTF, thank you for the raid. Flat Cap, Dapper Pastor, thank you for the follow. Kiro Kami, thank you for the follow. Saturns_Grace, thank you for the follow. Angel, thank you for the raid. Underlord, Twitch, Lieutenant Dan's Legs, thank you for the follows, y'all. Deadly Deal Gaming, thank you for the raid. PJ, GX Gaming,